He should.
Or is
He
that old?
does. I
He
think he
does.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stone cutting. Mm-hmm.
Presentation.
What
He was
happened?
fun to play. He was fun to play with.
You should be able to log back in.
Person too.
All right, I'm refreshing.
What?
Yep.
What is it? Cartharos or something like that?
Yep.
What's Cartharos?
The name of the server?
What? It's
The,
called
Founder
Q.JJ
server?
Basement. For
Oh,
me.
what is this? Update software.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That's something that has to be done on the server side.
I can't actually launch.
Oh, there we go. I
had to
reloaded the
refresh.
page and it opened up.
Oh, it's because it was already launched. Yep, there it is.
Figured out the problem.
That means I have to refresh the stream view in a second. That's okay. Okay, everybody in one. Yeah. Okie dokie. So, who would like to begin the recap? And others can join in.
Teamwork.
Because I mean, like, I kind of thought about it. It's like, I mean, you guys really, the inspiration is a party-wide resource anyway. So it's like, instead of one person having to have the sole responsibility of recap, it's like, I mean, you guys get to choose who the inspiration goes to anyway. So, what do you remember?
Fun. And we get to hear everybody else's perspectives and your details we missed and stuff.
Water.
Let's see. So we went through the first puzzle room. I think Cha got people burned by picking the wrong column.
What brought us here?
The first puzzle room, which you were asleep for in somebody's backpack. Then you woke up. We found you in Cha's backpack, sleeping on his pile of shuriken. And you joined the action. We entered this northern room that has a couple of trippy statues in the north. It had a series of traps that Niavara pointed out for us with her awesome passive perception. One of them is like a flesh horror. One is like metallic and stone mixture. We didn't play around too much in there because I believe Rain and was it Kozik or Zed? Rain and Zed wanted to explore this eastern room. We found a trap on the door that was an elemental trap, and I don't think anybody got hurt by it, but it did burst out some flame or something. Something freaky. So we all worked together to figure out the elemental unlocking of it with various elements. Went in there, Niavara once again pointed out to us that there were no traps. So Kozik just ran right up to this big altar. And this room is also, it seems like it's been cleaned, whereas the northern room had like footprints and was dusty and messy. This one seems like it's cleaned and kempt. There are nice chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. But there were elementals bas reliefs on the columns that went in a particular progression. But Kozik ran in there, stepped on a tentacle, and suddenly there was a massive monstrosity before us. This horrifying aquatic tentacled creature that some of us have seen before when we were in. We
didn't talk about that.
Right.
We should.
Right. I think in character they should talk about that. But some of us have seen this creature before in a particular cave when we were on our first mission, which we still have not finished. Let's see. And yeah, we battled it. Cha landed a killing blow on the tentacle creature, but then its tentacles entered some animated armor, which continued to battle us. We fought them to their doom, and then we heard the Legend of Zelda puzzle, sound like doo 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 doo, and suddenly there's a chest of goodies in front of us, and that's where we left off. Bing bang boom.
There anything
Oh, and
else?
Marge released a bunch of tiny alligators with hats and jackets on from their person, which we discovered were the boys during the battle, which was super cool. Niavara had an excellent quote where she just said, Niavara has knives and magic and anger.
Mhm.
And Rain, I have a quote down that just said, worth it.
What?
I don't remember what that was about. I don't remember why I wrote that down, but worth it. You did something that was worth it. Oh, and we learned that casting spells has some kind of weird effect in this area, and that's not good.
Okie dokie. Anything else?
We did solve puzzles to get in, and we looked things and caught things on fire, and for a half a second there was almost a potential makeout scene, but then we stopped ourselves to remember that we're amidst company. Zed and I in this corridor right here that I'm pinging right now.
Oh,
And then
remember
there
that.
were extra doors in here. And yeah, remember it was the fifth element. The fifth element is love.
I
Oh,
don't
right.
recall
Uh-huh.
the-
Yeah, everybody was
Yes.
confused for a second there, huh?
Yeah,
Love.
yeah, I don't
We're making a lot of
recall.
Fifth Element remarks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not.
Hello.
I'm not remembering the potential porno. I'm not remembering that.
Sounds more like Cinemax porn.
Sometimes I drift off and daydream in sessions, so it might not have been real.
So you're the one with the pay-per-view in your brain? Is that what
Mm-hmm.
you're getting at?
One hell of a statement.
So we're gonna go to.
Said it helped me out here. I'm not alone. It almost happened, right?
Oh, I gotta. Hold on.
He's leaving you
Back.
hanging.
Error. Refresh.
Oh, one other detail. The two statues in the northern room. One was a mixture of mouths,
There we go.
flesh. And the one on the right, that was the left one, the one on the right was a draconic being with a strange mist floating about it. Like they were frozen in time. Maybe they're not statues at all, but if they are, they're incredibly highly detailed.
You think it's frozen people? They were like turned to statue, Medusa style.
Potentially. Or they're just frozen. They haven't even been turned into statues. It's just like they're real but frozen in time. That was some check made that a possibility.
Niavara's active check. The other thing about it, it's not really about it as much as Chaw's observation. Tell me, Chaw, how many creatures have you seen that were made of mostly just mouths?
More than you would think, to be perfectly honest.
Uh-huh.
I have a certain monstrosity where I come from called a lemur. Don't know if you've heard of them, but they're
Lemurs?
basically
Ain't they locked on like an island?
no, not a lemur. Lemur. They're the lowest form of a hellish entity that there is. Typically, the lost souls that were collected by archdemon or archdevil. When they are incarnated into the hells, You become a horrifying flesh monstrosity. Looks kind of like that statue. Well, there are differences. But
I see a Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore.
ooh, said that.
Hmm?
Just quote somebody.
Lenore. It's another joke about Lemur. Lenore is the love interest in Edgar Allan's poems, The Raven.
Oh, I knew that. I was asking in character for you to make up, like, where you got the quote from.
A little bird told her.
Yeah, clearly.
Good one.
Little black bird. I think it might have been a magpie.
Magpies are your best friends.
There was the weird altar at the front that Kozik was very much interested in that had like some sort of aura around it, if I remember correctly as well.
It was very colorful. But the important question is who gets the inspiration before we move too far ahead?
How
Chad,
many
you have
people don't
inspiration?
have it? I don't think Cha does, but we could just roll for it. See, no, Cha does not. Anybody else who doesn't?
Should be more people who don't than do, right? Because we
I
spin
think-
them like 2 weeks ago.
I think Dungeon Master gave Marge one. I think 2 more people got it.
I see. Rain and Shaw without one.
Kozik get one. and
Zed
then
doesn't have
Nibara?
one. Kozik has one.
Nibara has one. So we could roll a d4, and anything from 1 to 3, we could pick a number for the 3 of us, if you wanna.
That's up to you guys. I mean, I'll take it too.
No.
So if you roll a d4, then it all works out.
One second, I actually have unlimited power.
Oh my god! How did you do that?
Typed it.
That was brilliant. Okay, I guess we need to pick our numbers first. I'll be 2.
That'd be 3. Said, which one do you want?
I mean, there's only one number left.
Well, I guess
It's like
Oh, there you go.
Kuth gets it.
Go wait until driver update
Get
support.
on my sheet.
All right. So you have
Okay, so what do we see? Is the monster there? Are the animated armors there? Like, what happened to everything?
you essentially felled everything. The animated armors lie lifelessly at your feet. The little tendrils that were worming their way from beneath the plates have all, fallen lifeless, as well as the pretty sizable amalgamation of what once was there.
I was gonna walk up to that fallen monstrosity and breathe hard just from. Shit! We've seen this thing before, you guys. Remember? What the hell is it doing here? It's on a completely different plane of existence.
I mean, is it the same one, or could it be like two of the same thing? Like it's like saying like, oh my god, I saw a drow in the material realm. Ah, there it is. It's in the Feywild. No, it's just more likely that
Shit.
there's 2 of it.
I forgot to. Oh my god.
Weird
Okay,
monster
that's-
though.
That's fair.
Shit.
Um,
Uh,
Do something.
So y'all
So-
haven't seen these before, and I'm gonna kick one of the animated armors.
I fucked up.
OOC.
Well, not
Alright,
the armor.
Is the armor wearable? Usable?
Yeah, put it on, Zed.
Yeah, you should put it on,
Do it.
Zed.
Go for it, Zed. Do it.
So Zed, you're the one more knowledgeable in like weird material realm stuff and magic than I am.
Possibly.
Do you know anything about these things?
Nope.
Are you
Do
sure?
we recognize these creatures at all? Like, is it familiar to any of us?
Like magical like an arcana check.
The whole tentacle beast thing, I'm assuming had some sort of relation to the one that we fought when we were underwater in that cave. There was that really, it was like the orb of light, and then we touched it and it sprung through almost from like a different dimension.
Yeah.
By the
This was
way, my key
kinda
turned
similar.
into jade when I fought with that sucker too, and then it turned back into obsidian. Know what that was about?
This is true.
It
Right, so
changed.
Oh, wait. You
yes.
changed, right? Your key changed.
We all changed. Didn't we
Yeah, I
all
remember.
change?
I did. My body changed. I became a tiefling for a short period of time. Very
I
different
became a
story.
satyr, I think. Kind of like my girlfriend Sarah back up there.
Maybe
Hey,
that's
I
why she
should turn
likes you.
into that for her.
Right?
should-
Can
I
I do
should turn into that.
an arcana check? Just to see
Sure.
if I am familiar
Go
with these
forward.
things. A 4.
I think Cha would try to help with that since he is also aware of arcane knowledge to some degree. So if you want to, he's going to try to help you with that.
I'll roll again.
While they're doing this, can I cast
18.
detect magic ritualistically, taking a quick 10 minutes to draw some chalk outlines and some sigils, and like I'm gonna like stick my finger in it and like lick some of the goop and just get down to investigating and detectiving magically.
I'm going to throw this
Sure.
out, OOC. We tried to do this already in the room prior to this, and it didn't end well.
Yeah, in the room
Oh,
prior.
the magic.
Yeah, it
detect
sort of
magic.
attacked Kozak. But like Neovar won't stop.
I was asleep during that. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Yeah.
you were asleep, and that doesn't
Oh,
really
maybe
mean
he
that
doesn't know
'cause
it.
Kozik tried to cast something.
Detect
Didn't
magic.
really, I don't think any of us necessarily knew. It's just his cast kind of backfired. He had to do a saving throw. So yeah, I'm just bringing it up just in case people didn't remember, but you do you, boo.
Yeah, and it's like a whole. You gotta like I don't know how long you guys are gonna do. This is a 10-minute long because I don't want to use a spell slot on it. I want to do a ritual cast, and like I'm gonna do that thing where you hook your thumbs together and you make like a bird, and then like butterflies are gonna shoot out, and they're all like kind of going around. Like everything has a place for everything and everything in its place. You know what I mean? It's very organized, very fey. Lots of like just nature kind of elements and bright rainbow colors, and it's all just to study like the area around us and detect magic.
All right.
Way to
Well,
like that.
that's 10 minutes. But the
I'm sure
Arcana
with
check.
us like bantering and resting and then looking through this altar and the chest that appeared, or however that worked, should be 10
Well-
minutes. I would guess.
Well, it all depends. So let's go in the order of operations. So the Arcana check. So you were trying to investigate the creature, correct?
I think it was
Yes.
was it the creature that or the animated armor?
Oh, I thought it was the creature. Because we were
I
just
just
talking
wasn't sure
about the
what
creature.
Niavara was referring to.
Oh, the beastie. She was referring to the beastie that
Okay.
Cha and her have been talking about.
All right. So that's what
So then,
you're
yeah, I'm assuming
checking.
in reference to that.
Okay. So, hold on. Give me a second. Getting to that part of my notes of monsters.
Ooh, it looks like Rain's making us some dessert over there. Looks good, buddy.
There it is.
I'm like super preoccupied and barely hearing anything.
Okay, so with your 18 Arcana, first and foremost, you are able to ascertain, for one, this thing ain't natural. At least not to, your current plane of existence. Let's see, 18, 18, 18. And based on your information from before, like the first time you dealt with it, remember there was that glowing orb that you guys removed,
Right.
which left just sort of a puddle of darkness in which this thing emerged before. So basing it on that, you kind of get the feeling that the location this entity sprung from is probably not native to your plane. And this entity is probably so the things that you've dealt with are just minor aspects of something larger. Like you'd think, oh well, it's just a bunch, there's a lot of tentacles. You never really found a body. There was never a brain or a head or a central mass. It's always been these tendrils just with their own intelligence acting as if to say they have kind of formed a bit of a little doorway that they can manage to squeeze through, but you'd also ascertain that this larger entity cannot fit through the small openings, so it sends little feelers out. The name I
All
gave
right.
this thing.
First and
Oh, wait
foremost,
a minute.
that shit ain't natural. Is what I'm getting at.
The name for it. Where is it?
And based on whatever sort of arcane magical
it is.
knowledge that I've got, it seems as though it's trying to, like, it's something larger that might be trying to reach out, but it can't quite make its way all the way to us. So it's just kind of, it's like trying to push an arm or a hand through a wall. And I believe that's what we're seeing manifest in front of us, but it's definitely coming from somewhere else.
Wait a minute. I saw a tentacled creature in my vision.
Oh, you remember that one that we were both kind of talking about? That it seemed like we were both experiencing separately, but at the same time?
Yes.
Right. I'm
Does
thinking,
it look the
Eighth.
same? Does it look the same as our vision?
It looks different.
It's
I
different.
mean, it still has the, squid-like suckers and like tentacles, but the arrangement is a little bit different.
Huh.
Not necessarily to say that, it might not be the said creature, but if anything, there is a heavy parallel between the two.
Right.
I would say if it's not the same thing, it could just be some sort of metaphorical sort of amalgamation that our brains were able to put together based on some sort of vision that we got. There's some sort of similarity, though. I've just got to
Sure.
assume.
And if it's something massive that can't fit through a single portal, they're coming from. What could that be? There were those ships, right, that we were seeing in the vision? The ships with the illithid on them.
The nautiloids.
Not Lloyd. That's it. I want it. Could it be connected to that? Are they living ships?
I'm assuming that there's definitely some sort of living connection between that living, whether it be magical or something other beyond my understanding. But like again, those ships are more vessels. They're I'm assuming like our ships, just means for transportation, which is also interesting based on again, my feeling here is that these sort of tentacle amalgams are coming from somewhere else. Again, means of transportation. They might be trying to use these nautiloids to breach through, and maybe while we might be the ones triggering these doorways, we're also the ones that are closing them, seemingly. So
What was it doing here? Why was it protecting this altar, this space? What is this space?
Hey, how you doing, Callus? Yo, Calico. I love that.
and also
Love
with
that
all the
emote, by the way.
puzzles, all the of elemental likes and the such, having to get to this specific room,
The jangle.
it's
Love it.
probably not a coincidence.
They were protecting that. You should check it out.
So it's just a question of what it actually is. And Niavara will actually turn to it and sort of try and poke a hand in. Or actually, more accurately, she's probably going to use a knife to sort of crack it open. If the knife is bitten, that is what it is.
So you're cracking open a tin can?
Yeah, let's go. And by the tin can, I do mean that red safe.
All right. So let's see here. So you're doing this as Rain's casting his dispel or detect.
Yeah.
Oakley dokley.
I don't think Rain explained what he was doing.
Right, and this is a spell that centers on yourself, so it takes 10 minutes if you want to do it without using a spell slot. But then it also lasts 10 minutes, and it's like your vision changes. You can detect anything magical within 30 feet of you for 10 minutes, right? Just to kind of like be able to look at walls. So if we leave this room and go to other rooms, I should still be able to detect. Maybe, hopefully.
Yep. Okay, so you start to try and wedge this chest open, or try to.
Yep.
So are you trying to? Okay, wedge. That's gonna be a strength based, which is gonna be an athletics check.
Not
Is
to
he-
put too many things on the table here, but if it helps with like passing time and stuff, Zed will probably want to examine the animated armors, at least one of them.
All right. Well, let's see what happens with this athletics check.
Let's go. Crack open the sheet. Oh my god, my athletics. Yeah, that's about right.
So you try and wedge the knife in between the lid, or what you think should be where the lid is, like where it would open. And yeah, you're not really able to get any traction or wedge in there. It's sealed pretty tight.
You need some help with that, Niavara?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it together. Maybe two weaklings can make one good, strong burst of energy.
But in the
You know, I
meantime,
admire
Marge, what do you want to? Oh, sorry.
the optimism. I admire the
Yeah.
optimism shot, and so we'll try and re-roll that.
All right, Marge, what are your thoughts on all this? Like you went into this room, you're looking, you're in here looking for smokes, and then there's all sorts of like wibbly wobbly tentacle things and animated armors and all sorts of weirdness going on. Like this is something let's see, how old are you? This is some weird stuff that's weird even to you. Like you've lived in the Feywild. There's things that happen, but this is not normal, which would probably also fall it kind of would make sense, right? That some of your crew have set up those warning stones, like something ain't right here, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, Marge would be kind of scratching her head at kind of what's going on and maybe questioning some of the priorities of the group members. Got one person drawing circles on the ground over here. Got somebody trying to pry open some kind of container over here. But her main goal obviously being that you need to find the smokes. So I guess she's kind of she's kind of at the mercy of the group, as far as letting them do whatever. Because she obviously, especially with something like that, um, seeing something like that, I can, that's something she can't handle on her own. So, she's again, she I don't know, she's just kind of taking it all in, trying to figure it all out,
All
trying to
right.
be observant. That's kind of what she does.
A very key skill in your line of work. All right, so let's see. That second athletics check was a 9. You end up with the same result.
Oh, hey, I have a crowbar. Chop pulls out his crowbar. This should help out. Hey, Zed, you want to help out with this? We can crack this sucker open.
I'll give it a go.
So you will get advantage on your strength check using Chaw's crowbar on this thing.
And I'm going to say, in the amount of time it took Neovar to try and pry it open, Shaw to come over and try and help pry it open, I'm going to say about 10 minutes has passed.
Nice.
To which, Rain, your detect magic goes off.
All right, so basically you see with all the sigils drawn, and it's very cute. It's one of those it's like a star shape, but with another star shape kind of transposed. And each of the points has like 3 circles around it, and it has all these that are written in like Sylvan, right? And like just different, and it'll just be words. It'll be like, fire, earth, water, right? And you have all these butterflies, and then I'm just gonna kind of even without flapping my wings, I'm just gonna kind of lift my chin up and I'm gonna levitate into the middle of the air, right? Eyes kind of rolled in the back of my head, and I'm like, and with your powers combined, I could see magic. And then just shoo, and there's like a little light show, like rainbows and all this to not have to burn a spell slot.
Hey, spell slots are precious. Okay, so...
Anything standing out?
Oh, there's a lot of things standing out. So...
Uh-huh.
Can you link detect magic? It's the first round you just detect it, right? And then you investigate to get the schools.
No, for 10 minutes, I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet. This isn't identify, it's just detect, right? And if you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object that bears magic, and I can learn its school of magic if it has any. It can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by a foot of stone or an inch of metal or a thin sheet of lead or 3 feet of wood or dirt. I also don't know how to link things. I just shift click it. I just roll it and then not use the spell slot. Wait. Oh yeah, it does have a don't consume spell slot button.
Yeah.
All right. Bam. Oh, and I can do it there. You can erase this because the dot's supposed to follow wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
So I'll have glowy eyes kind of thing going on.
All right. So, upon the completion of your ritual and your little kind of feelers going out, you're like tendrils of light, I guess, as you had described it. They reach out and envelop the pillar in 30 feet of you.
I mean, if I'll zip around until I notice something. I'm just doing a little.
Well, I was just figuring out, seeing which ones immediately detected from where you were. So basically, all the pillars that were within your range are registering. Yeah, they're all registering faint auras. as as read by Detect Magic anyway. They're all registering auras. But the aura that seems like is the most potent, and the one that is slightly strange. So the one that's most potent is one that encompasses the chest, the thing that everybody's trying to pry open right now.
Ooh, okay.
And in the room, basically where you guys had eliminated the tentacled beast, there is a distinct lack of an aura. Like, it's almost like your tendrils are reaching out and wrapping around each pillar within range, kind of alerting you to that there is something in these general vicinities. And where your tendrils would, you'd expect them to wrap around something magical, it's almost like they're being pulled in. So you definitely get a feel of there being almost a hole, like a
void, like a
yeah,
black hole, like it's sucking it in.
Yep.
And it's coming from the defeated tentacle monster?
In the space where it cropped up.
Oh, in the space, not where it lies, but where it originated, right?
Correct.
Where's that ping that space? I want to go look at that space. Also, you can delete this little radius if you want. I don't know how.
So when you go to your measurement tools, measurement controls. Oh wait, no, not the measurement control. Under token controls, the measure distance. Let's see, that's for that one. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, it's measurement tools.
Ciao. Thank you.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. And I'd even say like there's a little bit of really faint auras where all the chandeliers are, but you get the feeling it's just so they have effectively eternal light. It's just always radiating light.
I'm gonna make that I'm gonna announce all this, right? Be like, first of all, that chest has magic all over it, so I hope y'all don't get exploded or something when you open it, because it's very, very magical. Also, there's some kind of like, where that thing came out when Cozy came in and just went nuts and ran in. There's kind of like a vacuum there, and I was wondering if we could stick something in it. You think that's a good idea?
Ooh, give it a try. And Cha sort of pulls the crowbar back right as Zed is about to try to pop the chest and be like, maybe we should figure out what's going on with this thing magically before we open it.
Can I reach my hand into the point where the magic is kind of like being like just absorbed? Can I feel anything different?
So you don't see, so it's still the floor there. So
yeah,
when you put your hand there, it's still cold floor. But you, as an entity of the arcane, let's see, something's gonna happen regardless.
Right, I am
but
not
give me
a
an Arcana
humanoid.
check.
I am Fae.
I will say too, like we keep like actually touching stuff. Zed has a mage hand.
Oh, hey, can it hold a crowbar?
It can hold
If
it,
it's
yes.
not more than 10 pounds.
So Rain, give me an Arcana check.
It's a 10.
Could have Zed stick a finger of mage hand into this. I'm not gonna continue what I was gonna say.
Probably
Hey,
wise.
Zed, I got normal pixie hands. I was wondering if you could put your magic hand in this hole.
I could do that.
Okay, so
And in
Rain.
case he can't see what I see, I'm gonna like, ooh, I've still got like a little. I'm gonna like draw a little circle on there. I'm just gonna like knife it a little bit and just like this one right here, and then back up.
So so you touched it, right?
Oh, I definitely touched it.
Okay. So with your Arcana of Chin 10, it feels weird. Like you grew up in the Feywild. You grew up in a place where magic is abundant. It's sometimes chaotic. It's everywhere.
Autumn Glades, Peppermint Kingdom. Yeah.
This is a very foreign feeling to you. The absence of magic. In fact, it almost feels like your magical capabilities. I mean, you resist it, but it feels like almost like your magical capabilities were about to get drained from you, like pulled out of you from the sheer force of this arcane vacuum.
I'm gonna pull my hand back real quick and then just double down on, yeah, you should. I felt like I about got sucked in, like all the color was gonna get drained out of my body or something. If you could, I don't know, just touch it magically.
Oh, I wonder if it's like that orb we found when we experienced this creature before, coming from wherever it comes from. Maybe this is where it comes from. Whatever's on the other side of this.
Alrighty. So you do your mage hand and touch it.
Yep.
Feel free to give me an Arcana check. Mm,
Nice.
perfect. So you definitely feel a pull, and this is weird to you. This is very awkward because Mage Hand is it's an extension of you in a sense, but not an actual like physical extension.
Right.
And it feels like your hand, like the Ledgerman, is almost being pulled in, like something like maybe even nibbling. Like imagine like something nibbling on your fingers, and that's being mirrored in your actual physical fingers. Kind of feels weird. Like imagine if you just had like a really stretchy arm, as opposed to this being a disconnected aspect of you. That's what you're gathering from this. And this is just through your mage hand, right? So it's not your actual arm being consumed, but it's like that weird connection, that sensory feeling.
That, like subconscious. Yeah. So Zed's gonna be like, "Hey, fuck! Ah, shit!" He's gonna snap his finger. As soon as he snaps his finger, the mage hand disappears, and he's just gonna be looking at his fingertips. I swear I could feel that.
What?
I've never had that before.
I thought the whole point was that it was safe to use that.
It's definitely some sort of like subconscious sort of connection, but it's only been ever that and not anything, well, sensory.
Oh.
But
And you just gotta.
I felt
Very
like my
worrisome.
hand was pushing through into whatever void it was, and I was not only feeling something on the other side, it was being grabbed and almost gnarled at by either spines or teeth or something, and being wrenched
Hey, how's it going,
in
Fallen?
toward it.
Howdy.
I'll offer a prayer for you. It sounds like Holterant's finally turned his gaze on you, Mr. Thatcher.
Who's that?
But
Like
I,
That's one of the
God of
6.
death. Yeah. It's like just a phrase. It sounds creepy.
Oh, I thought
I
you were
just
actually saying someone's watching me. I fucking got a bit of shivers.
maybe. No, your
Just
behavior has
during
always sort of
D&D,
freaked me out, not going to lie to you.
because they get recorded to
You have
YouTube.
been inviting the keeper into your life, and that's on you. However, no. In a more serious aspect, Neovar will actually do like a religious check. Like, is this like planar interference
Rain's firebolt in
or
it, or was that a
Also, I would
misclick?
like to firebolt the ground, please.
Okay.
It tried to hurt my friend. Sorry. Just instinctively.
So physically, visually and physically, your firebolt doesn't even hit the ground. It just
Like
and
where
with
there
your
should be a little scorch mark. There's no
There-
like evidence that I even launched this thing, right?
correct.
Wow.
And your religion was to figure out what? Sorry.
planar interference / any religious sort of reasonings to this?
Oh, planar interference. Fuck yeah. There's something on the other side that is
Nice.
hungry for magic. With your 19, there are entities out there that consume magic. There are entities out there that where normal entities might require food, from meat or vegetables or sunlight, or even, through,
People.
yeah, people. Something out there is consuming magic. That is its meal. That is its food. That's its hunger.
And she'll sort of think on this for a second before she's like, yeah, something. You've staved off the keeper for maybe a little longer, but something's in here that's hungry. And you are a very magical meal, Zedrin.
And you know what? Between your religion, Zed's arcana, because you both got 19s, you'd also ascertain that that chest that you're trying to open is also very magical.
Sure, want to get it open. Is there like a physical lock to it?
No, there's no locking mechanism whatsoever.
Wait, so you're saying there's something eating magic through that portal, and it's maybe this tentacle creature?
Something plainer, yeah. And I believe that Mr. Thatcher here did say something to that effect. And
So, if we open up this chest, which is all magical, will it eat it? Or is that why it's here? Was it trying to eat it?
a great question. I have no
Hey,
idea
you might
why
be onto
it's
something
here.
there.
It might want the
If-
chest, so maybe we take the chest with us rather than leave it here, because I don't know.
Is there anything
I
we can do to close the weird hole thing that you touched, Rain? Close it? Does it move?
What? It's just kind of a point. I think it's where the thing came from, right? Like maybe that's just the remnants of the realm that it left behind, maybe?
Man,
maybe
Tio Moonblade had some stuff going on like this, right? Remember that?
I
Where there
do.
was just like it just a rift opens in space, things come out of it.
Oh, blah.
Yeah, she'll step over one of the piles of armor and go to the pillars to sort of investigate the pillars. And she's like, "This sounds like a. It sounds like a variety of a trap, right? So maybe if
Yeah,
we
they
sort
had
out what
those.
the pillars in this room are, we can close the rift."
Oh, right. Okay. So Cha had examined these pillars, and he discovered that um let's see. So the altar had an aura about it, which was red. It would oscillate from red and blue and tan and then kind of an open space. And so he's going to like speak all this out. The first set of columns, they have flame motif. The second have watery motif. The third has earth, and the fourth has clouds. So maybe if we do like what we did on the door lock to the pillars, it will disenchant maybe this box or close the rift or something.
Wasn't I able to detect magic on the columns? Wasn't there something going on there too
Yep,
that you had mentioned?
every single one
What
of them.
was it again?
Well, they were magical. Did you investigate? Because I don't think you investigated what they were.
Okay, I'll investigate. It only takes an action that's 6
Okay.
seconds. All right, I'm gonna investigate this one right closest to me. Ka-chow.
All right,
Please and thank
column
you.
1, 2, 3.
By the way, Kozik went in the hallway to go take a piss. He'll be back.
So
Hope
this
you
is
don't fall asleep. No backpacks. You missed a lot of crazy stuff that way.
fire,
I
water.
know, but sometimes you just gotta go.
Sometimes you need a
Da-da-da.
power nap. By the
Fire,
way, I don't
water,
know if y'all are familiar
earth.
with what and like my eyes are like this huge glowing like pink, almost like flashlights coming out. Like it stares across like the pillars and the doors and stuff, like just beams coming out of my eyeballs for a whole 10 minutes. Right, and I'm like, I'm trying to get a rundown on what everything kind of is. It won't tell me what it does. You know what I mean? It'll just tell me like, oh, this is necromancy. This is abjuration magic. That kind of I can kind of get an inkling for what's going on. Little, it might be helpful. I don't know.
All right, so looking
Something.
at,
It's
at
pretty
this
cool.
one,
Looks pretty cool anyway.
you would detect an aura of enchantment,
Mhm.
And transmutation. And that's the one with the little, like, the earthen motif.
Okay. I'm gonna recite everything that I learned. So enchantment
Let's try.
and what else?
Enchantment and transmutation.
Okay. So
Transmutation.
I don't know how much y'all know about magic. I do a little bit of studying, but as we all know, sometimes our classes and our mentors are a little flawed, a little skewed. Everybody's, writing from their own perspective. But what I know about enchantment, it's magic that's kind of designed to just manipulate your mental state sometimes. Like if I was gonna cast a sleep spell, that would be enchantment, or hold person, or that kind of thing. And it's real similar, like hypnotism, right? Where affected persons may act completely different than how they normally would have. And transmutations, well, that's like turning water into wine, right? That's the ability to manipulate physical properties of items and people both, and maybe even leads little tentacle squid-like creatures, right? And this one's definitely got the earth motif on it. I bet if if I'm studying one of the others, will it give me kind of the same thing, like transmutation and enchantment?
No, each one is different.
Ooh, what?
So which
Okay,
one are you
what's
investigating next?
this is number 2 over here. I just assumed they would all be
Cha
the same.
Cha will help out with that to give you some advantage on your checks because he also has
To
studied
water.
arcane bit here and there.
Okay.
Okay,
We
2.
we still got to figure out what it means.
All right, so this is the water one. Okay. So this one has a aura, a singular aura of abjuration.
Okay. Now,
All right.
abjuration, which is interesting. And what was the sigil on this one?
This is the one with like little wavy like water
Okay.
symbols.
Hey, why? That's so. And I'm like, maybe I'm even saying this out loud. Just so this is water, but why is water carrying abjuration? Abjuration is protection magic, right? This is like dispelling the presence of evil or good, or restoring something back to health, or even dispelling magic or shielding someone. That's what this is. It's weird. I thought it would all be just elemental magic. Honestly, I thought this was going to be kind of evocation, right? Where you draw upon like flames and ice. And I know a lot of evocation spells, but this is each one of these pillars is different. This one's so just maybe somebody write it down. Water abjuration. The earth over there. Do you remember that was enchantment
Earth was transmutation.
and enchantment. It was a duel.
Was that both of the columns that have the earth motifs, or just one of them?
I'm gonna
Both.
go to this one. Okay, both.
Water was abjuration. Okay.
All right. What's the first one?
The first one evocation, the blow you up, yeah, evocation.
Ooh, see, this
Oh,
is
so
this is
they're
what
all
I expected
different.
all of them to be. I thought all of them's gonna be
Evocation.
evocation. This is earth, water, fire, lightning. Blow them up, freeze them, meteors swarm, making people vomit. That kind of evocation. It's raw magical energy. Interesting that they're all different. All right, what's the last one?
The last one you kind of ascertained was the wind. This is a duel. This one has divination and necromancy.
How are we getting every kind of magic in here? All right, so the wind, it's got necromancy, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with the necromancy. It's the magic of the ebb and flow of your life energy, the balance of it all, right? Animating the dead, casting blights, inflicting wounds. Even resurrection itself is a form of necromancy. What was the other divination?
Yes,
Divination. Yes.
divination. Yep.
Divination is centered around kind of scrying and searing and revealing and kind of granting knowledge and information to the one who cast it, right? Oh, does that mean that maybe this could be some kind of like it could be recording us, maybe, or spying on us?
Well,
It's
what I'm
interesting
thinking is
because
maybe if we cast those kinds of spells on each column, maybe that will unlock the puzzle, kind of like when we put the different elements on the door lock.
that'd be pretty hard.
Right, we'd all have to be different casters of different schools.
I got a lot in me. I know I could. I know enchantment magic. I got divination magic.
I have quite a few too, actually.
I don't think I could cast it on the column though. Like I could. The only like divination I got is the ability to identify what something is, right? But that's more of like we found some fancy pants and it was like, oh, make sure it's not cursed. I would work on it for about 10 minutes and figure out what's going on with it. But I can't identify like a column. Like I got to be able to turn it over and look at it.
Hey, so you cast a divination spell. Did it change the column at all?
Well, I didn't cast one yet. I'm saying that I could.
I mean, detect magic. Which school is that?
Oh, is that? I gotta check.
I would also point
That
out.
is divination. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I'd also point
Did
out
it
that the
change?
chest is, of the auras, the chest by far has the strongest.
Oh, okay. Let's.
Since
Before
I
this
figure
runs
you're
out.
already kind of going through everything.
Yeah.
So you're checking that one out.
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
want to just sit here and think about things too long because then my spell will run out.
That's conjuration. That's of all the auras in here, conjuration.
And it's also the strongest.
Yup.
Now, conjuration is dealing with creating objects or making them disappear. Like when you're trying to get a wizard who's got a little black cat familiar that pops out of nowhere, that's conjuration. If you're going to do a little poison spray, you're conjuring the poison to the palms of your hands, right? Spirit guardians, elemental guardians, the plane shifting and wishing, and all these are types
There it
of
is.
conjuration. Pulling a rabbit
The
from a hat.
tentacle monster. The tentacle monster was conjured here.
Also, conjuration and abjuration, which would probably explain why it's so freaking hard for them to open.
Oh, so it's got a shield on it of some sort, like an anti-magic field, maybe, or some kind of lock spell.
Some kind of spell.
Does it?
Probably.
Does
maybe.
it have a lock on it?
Ooh. There's no keyhole or locking mechanism whatsoever.
So if we go through every column, what does each one have? If we start from like the top right, go through all those four, and then the bottom, from left to right. What do we got?
Well, I don't know. I didn't write them down. I was busy seeing it.
Oh, I'm writing it down.
First one was definitely evocation, right?
So I think this one was evocation, and then this one, and I thought these two were both flame.
They're the same.
Did you?
So they're both evocation.
They're the same. Yeah.
And they're both flame. Okay, and so the schools of magic, are they the same on both sets? Or is it
They're
different?
identical from what Rain has been able to uncover.
The second set was the water, and that had abjuration. Third set was the earth, I believe. And the earth was... I don't remember what we got for earth.
Transmutation and enchantment.
Woo.
Okay, there we go. Transmutation.
Now we got the pieces to the puzzle. Now we just got to put it together.
And then
the
final
part.
column, we've got divination and necromancy. And then you're saying that the altar is conjuration and abjuration.
The chest. So think about it on a scale, right? Like it's almost like this thing here is brighter than all four of the others there. right? It's just super powerful conjuration. It's almost as if you're going to open this thing, gets maybe sucked inside and summoned, or something else is going to come out of it, or
Let's see.
maybe
And
I'm wrong.
that tentacle monster was already here. Kozak, he's out taking a whiz still, but he ran right into it. Right? It was like just sitting here.
Yeah, but it came from the point where things are kind of getting sucked inward, right? The
Right.
place of null magic almost.
Right. So just for the record, as far as schools of magic, I've got 5 different schools, but one of them that we've not mentioned is illusion. So let's go ahead and say I'm good for 4 of them.
Oh, right, right. Okay. Let's see. Have
Which ones are you not good for? What do you need?
So I've got conjuration, I've got evocation, I've got transmutation, and I've got enchantment.
well, I have minor illusions I can cast, so that's illusion.
I got disguise self as well, so I got an illusion, but I don't think one of them was illusion. That's the only
Right. Which
reason.
ones are we left over with that we're needing?
So we would need abjuration,
I've got one of
necromancy.
those.
Skill would that be?
Don't have any.
I have
Investigation. So while y'all's are figuring that out, I can pan the camera to a couple of folks here. Neavara and Marge, feel free to give me just a little maybe investigate. Yeah, investigation works. It's kind of more perception, but investigation, I guess, is also applicable. Whichever is better for you. How about that? And this is for the folks not trying to solve the puzzle. All right, we got a 9 from Marge. What you got, Neavara? Mouse moving. Whom may not be sure. Sec. Anywho, continue. Whilst I do this. Investigate. Okay. Continue. You're trying to solve the riddle here.
Oh. Okay. Right. So
Yes.
Welcome
magic
back.
spells.
I'll
Okay, go
admit,
for it.
magical, physical things are more of my thing. Investigation thing. Uh,
Yeah. It was just to see if you guys noticed something or not.
I see. And Diavara did not.
I don't know. You can always re-roll and see if you get a nat 20.
Crit fishing. No such luck.
Okay, just checking. I mean, even with the 10, you only really needed a 10. You look at everybody trying to, they're investigating everything. They're trying to put these pieces together. You can almost physically see the gears turning in everybody's head. And as an individual who has, as they say, the sticky fingers, who has already touched the chest and tried to open it, you kind of think to yourself, it didn't really seem like it was that heavy. You could probably drag this thing somewhere.
Nevar will try and pick up the whole last thing.
All right, so that it's still a strength check, but it's just really easy. Basically, don't
Watch.
roll a 5.
Incredible Nevara.
A 6.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Do
just
it.
picture all of us like the
Do
classic sort of like anime scene where we're all just heads together, just trying to figure this out. And just in the background is
just
just
walks up
Niavara
with
with a chest twice the size of her body, just on her shoulder, just walking by.
I think that's Niavara's thing anyway. She's like, okay. She's already carried around a chest. Let's do 2. Still don't know why
You wa-
there's a chest in my
You
inventory.
want some?
I
You want
don't.
some help with that, Niavara? Chop will help you with it.
And she's like, okay, so I will just say I love that teamwork is really making this dream work. However, this isn't really that heavy, and I think we could solve this better with maybe some of our more magically inclined companions. And after, of course, we find the smokes.
Right, we do need to find the smokes.
And Neovar does a quick glance over of the room again. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there's no doors in here.
This might be a bit of a dumb question,
Well,
but
that's not true. There were 2 doors, right? The one we came in and the one in the center that almost ate Zed's hand.
I
Rain,
know
I
the
do
chest is
appreciate
Okay,
you.
light
technically.
enough to where Niavara can lift it, but Marge, is it possible that your smokes are in there?
They're in there. They don't have much oxygen. They might not be smokes per se. They might be extinguished candles, if you will.
I don't know. Would you hide in an ominous chest with
I would.
weird, strange magical properties that may or may not suffocate you?
Well,
But they
my
might have been
insinuation
put
is
in there by that thing.
based on the creepy shit, it might have been actually put in there.
Or it hid from the creepy thing.
If I might, once again, I'm not saying that that's not a theory, and we can always check the thing post-mortem later. However, I was in the other room, the one that I was investigating before, and there was in fact an additional door further into this sort of dungeon, if you will.
Okay, so we get the chest out of this room, which
Yeah.
maybe the columns are connected to the chest
And I
or
think that
not,
we
and then
can,
it'll be easier to open. Is that the
I
idea?
yes. Alternatively, we could just, do the good old standard thing of once we get outside and away from this thing that's that's magical and wants to consume it. We can do the time old trick of just throwing it at the fucking ground when it won't open.
What if we put the chest on the thing that consumes magic so that it
No.
might take the spell off and we can open it?
Very
You
bad
got
idea.
it. You got it.
I don't think
Do
we want
you
to give
wanna
the entity
sacrifice?
more magic.
Do you want to sacrifice like a magical object to test if it just takes the thing off the magical object?
I mean, yeah.
Or if it will take the object itself.
I think
'Cause-
it's worth knowing.
Go ahead. Put something that you know to be magical in the creature's mouth and see if it takes just the magic or if it will eat the whole thing.
I'm gonna take my staff that grows flowers and I'm gonna plant it in the little magic void hole.
Here we
So-
go.
You plant your staff there, and it just starts to sink in, and you start, the little flowers start to sprout, and it's very colorful and very bright and vibrant. And the longer you keep it in there, you see the flowers start to wilt.
Oh, they're not
Like the
supposed to do
life
that.
is
You're
being
supposed to grow
drained from them.
flowers.
Yeah, so they grow and then they just start to wilt.
I'm gonna keep waiting and watching.
Do you keep trying to grow flowers or just see what happens?
I just want to see what
Hey,
happens.
the thing is killing your staff, man.
Alright.
No, my staff ain't alive.
Or
So-
taking its cool ability.
The color of it, because even the staff is like very colorful and bright colors. Even the color starts to drain from it once the flowers
like
wither and die and basically turn into just husks of what they should be.
So it's like that episode of Powerpuff Girls where the mime starts draining color out of the town, and then they have to sing a song to get it back.
Mm-hmm. And also, was
Exactly.
Neovar dragging a chest?
Neovar probably was, yeah. But
I think Cha was helping Niavara schlep the chest, keeping it away from the magical hole
What?
center.
I think
Going
my theory's
around.
working. It's draining the magic out of my rod, so it'll drain the magic out of that chest and let us open it, right?
But we don't know what the magic is going to. Could backfire. Or summon another one of the tentacle things. Who
or
knows?
destroy some really good loot.
Right.
I mean, and Nevar
Look,
sort of like
it's very
hesitates.
easy. We take the chest out, we throw it at the ground like Niavar said. If it doesn't work, maybe we could try that technique.
Here, so like, and she's sort of walks back over. She's like, "All right, Rain. Does your staff still work if you like remove it from there?"
I'm gonna remove the staff and see if it still works.
It tries very hard.
Oh.
And does
With
it
your staff?
succeed?
No. Like,
Oh.
so think of it like whereas before it would grow like very large and like colorful, vibrant plants. It's struggling to grow them.
I think
Like,
it's out of charges.
yeah.
I
Okay,
don't
so
know if that's
Niavara's
the
point.
case.
I think Niavara's point is that if there's something cool and magical inside, it won't be useful anymore if we put it in that thing.
Kind of
I
thought
s-
that there was a protective spell around it, and so I wanted to drain the protection spell so we could get to what it's guarding.
That's
But it
very
might kill the
clever
thing
as
inside
well.
too.
Zedran, magically inclined individual that you are, in your background training, knowledge, and experience, do you think that it's just going to go for the chest, or is the loot inside at risk?
Yes, with all of that magical training you've had, Zed.
Yeah.
Shaw
um.
looks very closely at Zed too.
I would ask
Well,
Kozik.
not having known much about this whole bit here, draining magic until just now, I feel like it would be very easy to test removing the chest from the room and seeing if maybe some sort of its magical properties are tied to this room before trying
Right.
to drain anything per se. My thought is, again, let's say there's something in the chest that also holds some sort of magical properties. All of that might get drained as well. And I'd hate to have it be, well, let's say an individual that's got magic properties, and that would be probably
Ooh.
pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't want to test that out myself, to be very fair. Now, Rain,
Ditto.
with your gung ho attitude, however,
Mhm.
once again, I'm not going to even suggest it because I don't want to see the effects of that. I've witnessed enough torture in my life. I do think that we should just, move on because there was in fact another door before Rain, you and Zedrin found this side area. Now, I can't get this thing open, and there's no physical locking mechanism. So your point to the spell is, well,
I
you
would say
know,
it's a valid option, but we just don't know the outcome. Is all really I'm saying.
yes.
Sure.
I'm not saying we have. These are suggestions. This is just, hey, I
Yes, of
wonder what would
course.
happen. You know?
Aye.
Sure.
So let's
So
take it out
for
of
the
the
sake of
room first,
Yeah.
because
saving
there's a
time,
whole
let's drag it around
other.
and maybe either in the hallway we can look at it, or
Too bad nobody
maybe
knows a
maybe
knock
we
spell, huh? That'd get this bad
maybe we
boy
bring
open.
it into the other room and see if the sort of detection of the magic shifts or changes at all. 'Cause you could still see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Drain. You can check and see if the box changes at all when we go in the hallway.
Well, there's an aura shift as they drag it around the particular location you're sitting at.
What does it shift to?
Ah, yeah.
You start to see the aura around the box, that very strong aura. Imagine like somebody's pulling a piece of like paper or string. Like the auras are starting to stretch as if they're being pulled into said void. Because how they move it around, even if they go around the sides, it's still kind of close.
I'll mention this and be like,
so
it looks like it's
already-
being drained anyway as it's like getting stretchy.
Maybe this thing is feeding whatever that entity is, and if we take it out of the room, it will cut off the food source.
Is there anything on the ground or like underneath where the chest was as we've moved it?
Nope. Just regular old, undisturbed, extra clean floor.
And
Rain, give
I
me an
also
Arcana
mentioned
check
before, I
with
wanted
advantage.
to investigate one of these armors.
Yes.
I got +5, and with advantage, I got an 8.
Would you like to use an
Oh,
inspiration?
wow.
I'm gonna use that inspiration they gave me today.
It's juicy.
Most likely gonna beat an 8. Boom.
Yeah, boom.
All right. Arcana of 20. You get all this juicy information.
I hope
So,
it's juicy.
Since your detect magic is up, you saw the strings of magic slowly pulling to the the center point of this anti-magic magic feeding zone, and you were able to determine that if you're quick enough, you would be able to drag the chest over it, drain the magic, and pull out whatever's inside. And I'll even say with a 20, you get a feeling that whatever, like there's strong magic coming from the chest itself. It kind of makes you think, what inside is worth that much energy? It's got to be something interesting or important. And let's see, what else can I give you with this 20?
I'm just hearing that Rain was right all along, is what
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Sorry,
pretty much.
continue.
Oh, no.
And you would also ascertain that, yeah, it's a 20. You get this information. That as the energy gets drained from the chest being pulled over this thing, the pillars would attempt to somehow, in some way, try to fill that void, which would in turn drain them as well, effectively rendering all the traps in the room completely and utterly inert.
I'm going to share 100% of this information with everybody.
Okay, what do we need to do? So we drag it over the spot. And
Yeah.
then we keep dragging it. So that
And
it
all these
doesn't
columns
destroy...
are meant to, it did empower the armors and the tentacles, right? But that's not what it's here for. I think that was accident, happenstance. I think it's supposed to be guarding this chest as if maybe you take it out and they try to destroy you or something. I don't know. But we could disable all the traps in this room and the shielding spell that's on this chest if we just zip it through the hole. We just kind of cross it over, caress it a little bit, give it a little tease, and then pull away.
All right.
The keeper is not likely to return things that you give him, and so I remain sort of against the idea of testing it out on the thing.
Zed, let's give it a shot.
I will say I'm all for it. I just throwing this out there that if we're aware that wherever the tentacle came from is actually draining magic, we're giving it potentially quite a lot of food is all.
Well,
Think
it's
about
already
it.
Taking it.
Exactly my
It's
point.
already taking it. We're getting rid of it. We're taking away its food
I think you're
source.
seeing this wrong. I don't think it's like that. I think it's like if you're in the great black beyond, right? And there's no air up there, and you're inside a vessel with air, and you get a punctured hole in it. The air gets sucked out. The magic's getting sucked out of this tear in our realm, right? I don't think there's somebody on the other end with a straw being like, "Give it to me." I think it's the happenstance that it's just being pulled in like a vacuum, and that it ain't a sentient, person back there. And I think this
I can
spell
understand
here
that
is
as far
just
as like the the tentacle thing is gone now. So, as far as that whole puncture you're talking about, there's nothing there to close it. You might be onto something. This is again, it's a bit new to me still, but I'll help out in any way.
These are all spells to protect whatever's inside, and we're gonna have to bypass them, right? And I think that's the fastest way to do it.
Let's do it. Zed, come here. Schlep it over the hole with me.
Schlep.
Ready?
Wait, we need Niamhara to be on board with it, though. I don't want to do nothing that she don't want to do.
Oh, Niavara, what do
And
you
that's a
think?
polite way to go about it.
I mean, that's very polite of you, Rain. I've made my feelings clear, which is give nothing to the keeper that you'd like to keep for yourself. However, I get the sense that I have been what's the word? Outvoted.
Well, there's still Marge.
There is still Marge. Marge,
Marge, what do you think?
yeah, you're back. You seem to have more experience than any of us, so
I mean, my only question is, is it, is it protecting something or is it keeping something in there that doesn't need to get out? You know what I mean?
I see, like walnut. We're just cracking the
Good
shell so we
question.
can get to the good stuff inside.
I mean, is it
Here-
good? Do we know that for sure? You know what I mean?
It was
Here's
more
what
along the
we
lines of
know.
where I was kind of speculating as well.
Here's what we
With the
know, though,
types
you
of magic
guys.
that's being used, it does feel like this would be something they're protecting, not negating.
That there was a portal opened up here, and a creature has been sucking magic from this incredibly powerful place. We're removing that. We know this entity is dangerous and has attacked us twice in 2 different worlds. So I'm all for taking away its food source. And it has nothing here left.
Oh, and then what would happen when it ain't got nothing to suck on?
Good question.
Oh wait, you just said that there wasn't something on the other end sucking through a straw. Now I'm confused.
Well, we're speaking in theoreticals, ain't we? I figured Cha was just saying if there's something sucking.
I thought that metaphor was for a different part of our story.
This is very
Right,
confusing
anyway.
hypotheticals.
Anyway, Rain seems very very certain that this will actually do everything we kind of wanted to, which is remove the external magical barrier of this box, which we're all very interested in, and will take away the food source from the thing because all of the other traps in the room will be sucked dry, and then it will have nothing left, whatever is on the other side. So we effectively cut off its whole reason for being here, was to
So there,
suck magical energy.
as far as so another whole bit that's popped into my head here. Um, Rain, you're saying that so it's going to drain whatever's protecting this box. It's also going to drain the magic from all these pillars here.
Yep.
Now,
Right.
you brought up the metaphorical sort of question of, well, then, what happens when the room's empty? Well, technically, the room wouldn't be void of magic because we're still in it.
That's a good point, but I don't think you're magic,
But
though.
we're heading out. That's the whole point. We're heading out.
I think it'd be just
while
me
this
and
is all
Marge.
happening.
You're Feywild, right? Ain't you Fey?
Well, I'm not Fey particularly, but I'm from, this area.
Area.
Okay. Well, then it'd just be me that would
Again,
be in
bringing
danger of
up
getting sucked through the
hypotheticals.
hole.
Rain, how about you go in the other room? We'll do
What?
this thing.
But I was helping. Okay.
Yeah, you've helped. You're like the manager, the CEO of our project.
I don't want to get sucked in that drain pipe, so I think I'm gonna skedaddle.
All right, Zed, ready?
Right?
And we're gonna
It's super
carry the
light.
thing
Chaw,
over.
Niavara was able to pick it up no problem.
Cha's still just going like,
Zed's
because
just shaking his
he
head and just
really has
laughing.
no strength. He's all about dexterity, so he's just like, we better hurry. I don't know how long I can hold it.
You're
Meanwhile,
like 90-10 right now. Zed's just holding it.
It's with one hand.
so you move it over. the
So we're
location.
gonna do that. Yeah, we're gonna do that method where we just pass it over, not too fast, not too slow, but just keep on moving it out toward the hallway.
All right. So the closer you get, let's see, is rain within 30 feet. I don't think you're detect.
It's only 30 feet. Yeah, it would only go to there.
All right.
Okay.
So as you get it to cross over the effective void, yeah, no, Rain's the only one with detect magic. So
I'm gonna go. Well, if I'm losing sight of it, I would be worried that what if they leave it there too long, right? And I would be able. I'm the only one who would be able to see if the bad thing is happening. So I'm gonna peek ahead a little bit.
Okay.
all right. So as they, for a bit, it's out of your detection range. But as they drag it over, it moves into detection range, and you definitely notice the aura on the box start to get weaker and weaker and weaker to the point where the aura is almost completely gone. And at that point, everybody can see it, but Rain can kind of see the magical, ongoings of it. The column of pillars in the back, they light up, and yeah, so they light up, and Rain, you can see the aura on the box just instantly reinvigorate, but then it gets drained again and again. It's like it's sprung a leak and someone's trying to fill it, but it's just emptying faster than it could be refilled. And then the same thing happens with these pillars, which are within your range. And you can see their auras, they get very, very strong for a moment. And it looks like this tendrils, these beams are reaching out towards the box and just intercepting it. And again, you see the box light up, but then become dimmer and dimmer. And these two pillars thusly become completely innate. And the same happens with those pillars and those pillars. And this is all happening before they even get them near the pillars. This is all that's happening in this spot. So it's all happening very quickly.
Do I think they should stay near that spot till it's done and then run, or do I think it'll keep working as they leave it?
Well, you already told
So,
us that it
with-
would drain the columns after the box was removed. That was something you had learned.
So with that 20 Arcana, it would be important to, after everything is drained, to get the box away from it, because once the
But
box
to wait
itself,
until that point?
yeah, there's a little wait, but it all happens very quickly. To the point where once I'll even say, since we're just kind of playing this scene out, once the aura, the auras of all the pillars are drained, the aura on the box is gone, there is definitely an aura of something inside.
So
Gotcha. So we'll drag it out into the hallway just for the final measure. And Cha will pull out his crowbar and hand it to Zed.
Yeah, I think it will. If we get the cue from Rain, we'll just sprint into the hallway probably.
Yeah, as soon as that last column's, I'm gonna be shouting, just like go 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 go.
Did it work, Rain?
Oh yeah, it worked. It worked. We got something else entirely in there.
All right.
Also,
good work.
Since you were within 30 feet of that,
hold on.
Yep, you would have seen it. The anti-magic, the little zone that looks like it was consuming magic, just disappears. Almost like, it just kind of shrinks and shrinks and then just kind of vanishes.
Is that just an anti-magic zone?
Well, I'm just calling it anti-magic for the purpose of
Okay, all
what your
right. I
character
was
would
like,
know.
there's just
magic.
Okay,
siphon.
okay. I get what you see. All right.
Arcane siphon.
All right, so we disabled all the traps, and it looks like Like, there's no more crazy zone that's gonna suck us through, Zed.
It went away?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
gone.
perfect.
Wow, cool. It all worked exactly as you said.
Well,
Good job, Rain.
I didn't go to
Rain,
Candy
like,
Cane
taps him.
High School for nothing.
Cha like taps him on the back with a pinky, so like a pat on the back, but he
So
doesn't want
now
to knock him over.
there is one slight complication to this. This chest is the exact width of this hallway.
Nice.
So
Okay.
you
Turn it
You
back.
realize-
how about we put it
Just
back in the
kidding.
room a little bit? We'll put it back in the room since
because
you
you
said the magic is
realize
all gone.
where Kozik is at, it would
Push
be
it back
really
that
hard
way.
to, angle that puppy in that hallway. That
Pivot.
T intersection.
I was just gonna say instead of it, like it fits in the hallway, it's just barely.
Just
we'll
like you're
keep it in the
scraping
room.
the
We'll
edges
keep,
of
we'll
it
keep
to
it
get
in
it
the
in.
room.
Is
Since
it
he says
okay?
all
So
the
then
magic is done, we can just keep
I
it
was
in
gonna
the
say,
room.
well, no, I'm gonna say we put it in we brought it in the hallway. It's in the hallway. I like this whole idea. Is there a way to open it?
I mean, if
What
you
am I? What
try.
kind of
So
magic am I
Chaw's
sensing in
handing
it?
you his crowbar,
Okay.
so
So-
you can get an advantage on a
Can we
strength
maybe
check
not
to
open it
crack
just
them.
yet? Just give me a second to kind of eyeball it, just in case it explodes.
Kozik, aren't you finished, man? You've been
Uh,
peeing for 10 minutes.
don't mind. I'm just really shy and don't mind my dwarvish sensibilities. And he goes into the last room. There you go.
I don't think he was pissing. I think he was.
Hey, you didn't have a teddy bear. Okay, so your investigation. Ooh, okay. So, those pillars had a couple of auras on a couple of them, right? You're just like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but weird. The chest had a couple of auras on it. And I'd maybe say you might have just, give me another Arcana check.
Yeah. Regular or advantage?
This would be regular because it's kind of a,
Crit on a regular.
oh, all right, perfect.
Boom.
Good job.
So, as a denizen of the Feywild, you are very aware of the somewhat chaotic magic that exists, how prominent it is, but at the end of the day, things are still kind of separated into schools in a sense, right? Even if you combine a couple of them, it's still, oh, this is divination and abjuration, or this is, there's combinations. Whatever it is inside this box, imagine all of the schools and maybe even some no, within that 20, yeah, there's some, maybe even like a forbidden magic or something very ancient or very old, but it's an amalgamation of all the schools combined to the point where there is no school. Almost just like you're being exposed to a pure aspect of the weave. I know some of you would understand that.
Yeah.
Refined.
I'm gonna recite that a little bit and be like, I'm as soon as I look at this thing, like, because I can kind of see through it, kind of feel through it, right? The chest itself, it kind of gives me chills. It's like I'm looking at something that's like the pinnacle of like all schools of philosophy, magical combined, and things that I don't even know of, things that are probably tens of thousands of years old, maybe even, who knows? It just feels ancient and a little, I'm not gonna, like a little forbidden, like maybe we're not supposed to mess with this thing.
Cool.
Like y'all know what the
Zed's-
weave is, right?
Crack it open.
Zed's reaching into his pocket, just kind of nonchalantly, and he's got that amethyst shard in his pocket, and he's just kind of flipping it between his fingers like he might do one of his coins, and he's gonna just go to try and open the chest just normally, just to see if maybe the only reason it was held shut was magic, before trying to, break it open.
So you try to open it, but because of the width of everything and the walls are very nicely cut, but there's still some divots and peaks in it, just mostly for
Let's drag
aesthetic
it back
design.
in the room. It's no problem anymore.
Well, I guess so. I was
So
picturing this would be a good detail. Is it hinged to where it would need to like swing open? Because I was almost picturing it being like stone topped or something, where it could still just be lifted up.
yeah, it's stone top, but just the dimensions of everything make it
It's just not
complicated.
able to be open. All right, yeah, then we'll get it, I guess, back in the room to give us some room.
All right. It's like, imagine in order to get that box in there in the first place, you kind of had to do what you do when you try and get a couch in your front door. You gotta sideways angle it a little bit. You gotta, you know, turn 30 degrees and then angle it 20 degrees and then like lift it up a little. It barely fit in there, but you managed to get it back out with no problem because you figured it out.
Oh man, it's the most physical effort I've had since I was training to be an assassin. Oh, woo!
What's an assassin?
Assassin? You don't know what an
Mm-hmm.
assassin is?
Sounds like somebody who gives somebody a hard time anytime they're like talking about something. They're like, yeah, well, and then they just say something assassin back at them.
All right, well, this is going to be a
Cha
fun conversation.
really contemplates how much he wants to ruin Rain's innocence or not, and Cha really likes to just tell the truth for the most part. But at this moment, he's like, yeah, that's what it is, Rain. Yeah, you have an argument with somebody and you're just like, no,
I
you
used to
come down
assassin my
really
mama
hard,
all the time. She'd be like, "Don't you be assassinating me," and
right?
Jeez.
Yeah.
give her a little
Assassin
lip.
my mama. Yeah. But you know what? Don't go around saying that because where I come from, if you say that, it has a very different connotation sometimes and can be
I'll
kind
mean
of
you
like an
disrespectful.
insult. Yeah.
Okay.
So, right. Chalk kind of looks at Niavara and Zed with like a really guilty look, like that he lied, but also a hopeful look that they understand why he did.
Zed's just going to kind of be doing the heavy blink. All right, well, let's pop this bad boy open.
Yeah, good idea.
Who wants to pop it open?
I think Zed was going to try, I guess.
Well, luckily for you, it's very easy to open. So, as it sounds like Zed will be the opener. Inside, there is. Ooh, sorry. Inside, there is all sorts of like padding, like this red, like velvet, like cushiony padding that just encompasses the entirety of the insides of this. And the only thing in there is this little like rod. Looks like silverish in composition, which is probably somewhat unusual for the Feywild. Rain would understand that. Silverish in composition, and it has little motifs, like little engravings of all the elements, like wind, water, fire, lightning, even like sun and moon embellishments on it. And at the tip of it is this like a very nicely cut bluish crystal, just clean cut, like the cleanest cuts you've ever seen. And there's this like crystal on the end of it, and there's also something written on the lid of the chest if you are so inclined to read it.
I would say if I noticed it, yeah, I would choose to read it.
And important question. What languages do you speak?
Zed knows. Oh, where are my languages? Oh, here they are. Common, Goblin, Thieves' Cant, and Undercommon.
These are words and symbols written in a language that you do not know.
So Cha, I guess everybody's probably looking in there. We all were interested and came over.
Sure.
So Cha has infernal, undercommon, and I think that's it. Common.
The symbols are
Or maybe he
foreign to
knew
you as
something
well.
else. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Anyone
I
know?
know.
Anyone know what this
Niavara,
is?
Marge, everybody come check it out.
No
Rain.
common, goblin, sylvan, thieves' cant, and Fey signing language.
Yeah. I mean, Nivar is definitely watching and waiting and seeing what happens.
All right. So just checking Niavara. Niavara would not know what it says. Let's see. I know Rain can, and I'm pretty sure. Yep. Marge can.
And Kozik, he loves to cast a certain spell
But
where he can
he's
read
busy.
anything. He's still busy.
Well, I should say, did Marge want to come over there when they were like opening the chest and everything and all that jazz? Lodge,
Cha
Marge.
Yeah, I mean, she'll
saying to
go.
Marge, he's like, Marge, very sorry. We're gonna find your smokes. This is part of a bigger problem that we've had. So that's why we're spending so much time trying to figure it out.
Wait, what
Uh,
problem have we had?
Oh
Like
yeah, you haven't
the
been there for
tentacle
that.
monster sort of bit that we were talking about for a long time here, Rain.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just curious what was in the box.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, the point is, let's go get the smokes after we figure out what this thing is.
I don't. Where do you see languages at on your?
So in your attributes on the right
Yeah.
side, it's size, senses, languages, damage, immunities, resistances.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah. So Rain, you're looking specifically at the thing that's in the box.
I want to look at the writing as well. I'll let Marge read it though,
If Marge
and I'll
wants
look
to
at
read it.
the thing. And if push ever came to shove, I do have comprehend languages as a ritual too.
I guess
All right, so
for
you're letting Marge
clarification,
read it? Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to ask for clarification. Is the crystal at the top of the rod is not amethyst?
It is not, it is blue. Amethyst be purple.
Oh, I know. Just clarifying. I think Zed's gonna almost kind of not audibly, but he'll like almost kind of sigh to himself and just let go of the crystal in his pocket.
I think if Cha understands at all from his body language about that, looking at the crystal, he'll
Got
kind
my
of
notes open here.
give Zed a pat on the shoulder.
That's saved.
It's all right, buddy. We're gonna get him. Get him back.
All right, so Marge, and I'll say like this is happening at the same time, right? Like Rain is looking at the shiny sparkly item in the chest, maybe trying to see if there's anything else in there, and you're probably not as materialistic as everybody, and you're just like, oh, there's some writing here, and it reads in Sylvan, the key to the mind unlocks a door to madness.
Ominous.
So yeah, you can relay that to people if you want.
Rain read it, right? I assume, or no?
Nope.
Oh,
I'm staring
okay.
at the item.
At the item that's inside the chest, or
Yeah.
and what does the item look like again? I'm sorry.
It
The
is
rod.
a silverish rod engraved with all of the elements, as well as a sun and moon motif, with a blue, clean-cut crystal at the top of the rod.
And it said madness, mind, key, something or other.
So this is on the lid, not on the rod itself.
Oh,
It's
on the lid.
is
Okay.
the key to the mind unlocks a door to madness.
Key to the mind.
Okay. And Marge relays that as sassily as she possibly could.
All right, Fallen, have fun with the Roblox.
That's creepy.
Because she's an assassin.
Wait, who's an assassin?
Marge is an assassin because she's sassy.
Who's she assassinating?
All y'all right now. She's doing it. Being
Yep.
sassy.
There's a short word for assassination, which is being sassy.
Oh no.
She's assassinating all of us right now.
Yes, exactly.
Should have seen it coming.
Well, that's really creepy. Is this the key that opens the door to madness? This thing? And then Chalk kind of pulls out his key that he has hanging around his neck. This obsidian jagged cut key. Is this a key that opens the door to madness? Man, there's too many metaphors. Or is it literal?
Well, if y'all want, I know there's lots of rooms with more important doors and stuff that we could be looking at. If you give me 10 minutes alone with this thing, I can tell you exactly what it is and where it came from and what it does.
So my thought
I know,
process
jump
is,
in my backpack with it, and then you can do that while we go and explore the rest of the other room. Look for smokes.
precisely.
Is that okay with you, Nivar?
Yeah, I think it's fine. If you can figure out what's inside of it, hell, more power to you, Rain.
Just don't let
Okay.
it make you mad.
I don't think it'll make me
Just
mad.
don't-
I don't
you
get
wanna be
mad that
mad.
often.
You're a very positive person, so
Yeah, I try to be. Thank you.
yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
save you.
Important
Let's go.
question. Who's picking it up?
Oh, I'm gonna pick it up because I got it, and then I'm gonna put it in his backpack and fly with it. Is it too heavy for me?
No. It's even. It's
Probably
light
the
even
same
to
way as
you.
Spooky.
Interesting. I'm gonna do
Chop.
this as a ritual spell, so I'm not gonna consume a spell slot. And there you go. And it'll take 10 minutes, so they can adventure for 10 minutes, and I'll just be in a backpack.
Cha runs into the room and looks at it and says, "Fuck you, room." It's like gives it the bird, and then takes off.
Oh yeah, fuck you too, buddy.
Hey, what? Did that just echo?
Yeah, it was your own voice echoing through the room, or so you think.
A minute. He shakes his head and then keeps moving. All right, so you guys found some creepy stuff in here, right?
So move your tokens as appropriate. So I know where everybody is.
Jeez. Do you think that tentacle thing? Do you think that tentacle thing is everywhere in existence, just trying to suck magic from places?
Well,
The
it's
hell
probably
is
not
it?
everywhere in existence, young Chaw. If it was
It's
everywhere, I think we'd have much more of a
Classics in there.
problem.
Goodness, everywhere we've been.
Even
Well.
still, more of a it's in another plane causing trouble, throwing up a ruckus and poking through doors.
Yeah, I guess it's not a big problem yet. By the way, how'd you guys fare after the fight? Anybody need a rest? Hey, Kozik! Oh man, he fell asleep in the corner. I think we should let him sleep there. Look at him, he's so cute when he sleeps.
All right, so what are you
Don't you
doing,
just
Zed?
want
Because
to
I,
play with
I
his
see you lurking
beard?
in that room.
Zed's just still curious about these animated armors. He's never gotten to really stop and investigate because as soon as he was going to, I think it was when we decided to move the chest. So he's gonna kind of, everyone's moving to the other room. He's like, "All right, yep, I'm right behind you. Just give me 1 sec." And he's just gonna walk in and he's gonna look at one of them, investigate it in
All
some
right,
way, shape, or form.
investigate away.
Can I do? Well, shit. I'll just do an investigation. I can do it.
Yep, that's a heaping hunk of metal plates that now have tentacle goop in them.
What kind of weapons did they have?
They had swords. They were long swords. But at this point, they seem they're not very well maintained. Kind of looks like after you felled them and after the pillars ceased to be active, the sharpness on the blades became very dull.
Okay. And I don't get this, but does any piece not seem like worn to the point of not being usable?
I mean, anything's usable in the right context.
Well, okay, so specifically, does anything seem, like does it stand out as being more pristine or anything like that?
Oh, no.
Is
Not
all
with
just
an
the same sort
investigation of
of
9. No, it all looks old and dusty and probably rusty, and if there was anything that looked pristine, it's covered in like goop and all sorts
Can I
of
do a perception
gross
check
stuff.
just in hopes that I can roll better?
I mean, technically, you already did an investigation.
No, that's cool. All right. I guess with that being said, I'll run in and just catch up with everyone else.
Because usually you'll do like an investigation after perception, because like, oh, I noticed this thing, and then it's, oh, I'm gonna look
That's
into
what I
this
was
thing.
thinking. I was like, I want to investigate these, and I just wasn't sure which to roll first. I was gonna bring it up before, but anyway.
That's okay. All right, Marge, you see Zed like running up behind you eventually.
Yeah, Marge was just keeping an eye out.
Staying in that
Sorry.
hallway.
I was looking at the the lumps of metal over there at this point.
Oh yeah, I see that. I just making sure you didn't do anything stupid.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That's actually accurate because Marge's line of sight is right next. Yep.
Was exactly
Marge
where I
saw
was standing.
everything you did.
Yeah.
That's funny. Anywho,
Well,
Okay, we've
might as
got
well
the
make
door
sure
to the
that they're not
left.
doing anything stupid, right, Marge?
Yeah, that's also a good idea. Let's do that.
Door to the left, door to the right, door up ahead. And these creepy ass statues. If they are statues. Ugh.
oh, you're doing the ritual in here too. Hey, Rain, give me an Arcana check.
Wookie.
That's right. We're back into the effects. Effects.
9.
All right. So you're casting you're working on the ritual, but you're starting to find it kind of hard to, you know, to channel the magic in a ritualistic form. Like, imagine you're sitting there doing something like a piece of art or something that takes a lot of intense time and effort and focus, and just kind of feels like someone keeps like poking you in the side. Not that that's the actual case, but
Or
as
like
far
you're
as
in
your
a back
attention.
seat drawing and there's like bumps in the car and you're just like, it keeps making your pencil go whoosh, and you're just like angry. It's like, it's messing me up. I'm being jostled about too much.
Yeah,
Maybe.
akin to that. Not
But a magical
physically,
version.
but yeah. Like a magical distraction or something keeps like, yeah, interrupting it. Not to say that you're not going to get the ritual off, it's just taking a little longer than you'd expect.
I'll mention that. I'll be like, hey, I don't know what you're doing out there, but it's bothering me.
Oh, sorry.
Like magically, I
I'll
mean,
slow down.
no, it's something. There's some kind of like interference, kind of like static, kind of coming in. Like, what kind of magic are you tampering with?
Oh, hey. Maybe it's because we were in the room with the siphon. You know what? Hey, you guys explore this room. I'll take Rain back to that other room.
Yeah, if you want,
Because
I can just sit in the hallway and then be in range of everybody and just sit on the floor and
I think this
It's out of
this
range,
room was
okay.
special because there wasn't any magical like aura in here. Maybe that will help you concentrate.
Okay.
I'll move you down there.
Yeah, like I have to go piece by piece by piece.
All right, so that happened, which leaves Niavara, Zid, and Marge in this hallway / room. And technically Kozik, but he's just kind of reading a book or something.
Let's get in here and try to find the things that we're supposed to here to do. You know what I'm saying?
Kozik just staring at all the stone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so I'd never been in this room. What's the
Yeah,
sort of bit going on in here?
you should go investigate a pillar. You totally, because you've never been in this room. You should just go stand right next to that pillar right there.
I feel like I hear my self-conscious telling me to do something that I shouldn't be doing.
Listen to the intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing there, right?
It'll be worth it.
Peer pressured by the DM.
I mean,
Classic.
unless Niavara chimes in, Zed has no idea.
It's more Nevar doesn't want to, openly step on Marge's toes at all. Nevar doesn't want to step on Marge's toes with regards to magical expertise. This is not her realm. And Marge has experience finding the smokes. Neavara, she doesn't find smokes, no.
Zed,
I
don't
mean-
step near the pillars over there. There's the lady next to me been pointing out traps earlier. Don't step next to them things, alright?
Yes. To the inside of the room, Zedrin.
All right,
The outside of the
walking-
pillars are fine.
I'm not gonna move.
So just take a step back towards the door. Walk
Okay.
around. Do not step next to the I can stand over here, but if I were inside these areas, and she gestures, the inside part of the pillar is where there's a issue. So if you'd like to investigate the pillars, you can do so on 3 sides, but not the 4th, if you will.
All right.
However, what I was actually, if I remember correctly, Zedrin, it was more of there was a situation over here with the door that I could not open. And I think
Sorry.
this is a repeat from our first thing where we're going to not get the door open magically, so we need to get the trap open anyway. You could try
Right, so
lockpicking it though.
you try to lockpick it?
I think I did.
Okay.
You were in the other room though. It was me and Kozak in here, if I remember correctly.
Kozik seems to be enamored with that corner over there.
Yes, I'm talking before we went to go investigate the other room altogether and out of character last week.
So, like, is it possible for Niavara to help me with this to get advantage?
Sure. That works.
Does Niavara elect to help me?
Yeah, she's asking for help. She's gonna
All
obviously.
right.
Boom.
Like, well, feels like I might have something here.
Maybe. Let's find out. Try it. Try the handle. Jiggle it a little. Click on the door.
Oh, yep,
Woo!
there it goes.
Let's
And there's
go.
another door.
Just walk inside and try it. What's the harm?
This one's locked as well.
Just
Who the
try
fuck
and
would
lock.
do this? Put two locked doors right next to each other.
The sick
You can-
fuck.
Completely off.
Just pick it. You've already picked
Alright.
one.
Oh yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Marge, are you following along? They're starting to fade into that hallway up there.
Where'd what's his face go?
I think they passed us back in the hallway, back the direction we were going,
So
where
this
you
is
were
your-
watching me to see if I didn't do anything stupid, if I recall.
No.
Check my notes, which room
We
this
don't
is.
split the party. No.
Okay, I'm not gonna move.
Don't go any
Hey.
farther.
Nevar's gonna sort of slide
Room
past
9.
Zedrin.
There it is.
Yeah, Zed's
She's
gonna
a-
just step aside and he's like, I think we're
Kinda
in
s-
trouble.
Hey,
I don't.
nerds. Hey,
I don't know.
Nerds.
That's the professional term for reigning Cha, I'm imagining.
I'd like to think that I've got like little tiny pixie-sized spectacles on right now, and I'm like, looking on my thumb and my index fingers, a little rubber piece, so I don't cut myself as I'm like flicking pages in a journal that I like keep sometimes, and I'm like and I'm drawing illustrations of this gym and just like trying to get all the identifying marks on it. It's like
You
we ain't nerds.
yeah,
still have
Ja
flashlight
and
eyes as
Thimbles
well?
over there. We don't split the party. Come on. The other twos is already moving forward.
I can't go in there. There's too much magical interference. It won't let me.
And as you say that, you complete the spell.
All right.
Because it probably
see,
took them
look,
enough time to unlock the doors and, walk around and
It didn't
stuff.
take me that much time.
Okay, well, never mind.
What just?
I'm kidding. Do you still have flashlight eyes?
Split
Just
the
for-
party. I thought people were trying to figure out what those statues were.
Nobody's figuring out any statues. Let's go. They've
Oh,
already
okay,
unlocked
right, did
doors.
you-
They're moving forward. They're gonna run
Just
into
hold on.
traps.
This is super
Jeez.
important. You're going to be
Jeez.
very impressed with what I've uncovered here.
Yeah.
Nothing
What'd you
impresses me
get?
more than smokes. I can tell you that right now.
This is way better than smokes.
Nope. I highly disagree.
You're gonna think smokes who after this?
Nope.
Damn.
Chaw's just taking arcane crossbow shots at the fallen armor.
For reals?
of
Is this what we're
animated
doing?
Armor, just...
Really?
I pictured Ja like Han Solo stance.
Totally. He's quick drawing. Oh, missed.
He's like my new bodyguard. He's
Shooting
Sherman
around.
2.0, who was already
Shooting at-
version 19.
He's shooting at the chandeliers, making them like jingle a little bit. Gotcha.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're an assassin? Are you sure?
Well, you know, kind of ex-assassin.
I don't believe you. Well, X, yeah, okay, all right. Now I believe you. X, all right.
My choice.
Sure it
He's just
was.
trying to be a kinder person now, right?
Right.
That's why he don't go assassin nobody.
Anyway, I'm sassing y'all's right
Yeah.
now. Let's go.
Well,
Okay.
okay, what did I learn?
Did you finish it?
So
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, let's go. Walk and talk.
properties and use them, whether it requires attunement and use.
I'm just gonna ride in the backpack and talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as
I got my head out the flap.
per identify is written. So
Mhm.
you realize that there are no spells currently affecting this. This is imagine you've uncovered a lightning rod of the weave. It
Ooh.
is very hold on, let's double check in identify here. Those are second
Sucks of
item.
magic.
You learn its properties, how to use them, whether you have to be attuned to it, how many charges it might have, if any. Are there any spells that are affecting it? Like, is it cursed or something? And if it is, what are those spells that are affecting it? And if the item was created by a different spell, I learn which spell created it.
Ooh, all right. So
Nice.
go down that list one at a time, and I'll just answer it in real time.
Yeah. Boom. All right.
Sweet.
Is this a magic item?
Oh, it's definitely a magic item. It is the epiphany of a magic
All right.
item.
What are its properties, and how do I use it?
Properties. It will. Here. It will. Yeah, identify would tell you. It will shield you from arcane anomalies and all entities within 15 feet of it when active.
Somebody write this down.
Ooh. Whoa.
How do you
So
activate it?
will shield the user and anyone within 15 feet of them from magic
Arcane anomalies? Is
anomaly.
that what it said?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that is powerful. Within 15 feet.
Okay.
Magic anomaly. Okay,
How
got
do you
it.
use this?
Activation.
Is there like a word or a
Activate.
phrase of empowerment or anything?
So to activate this, you sacrifice a spell slot of your choosing, which will affect the duration of this effect.
So the higher
So-
spell slot, the longer it lasts.
Correct.
Oh.
Okay. Does it have any charges?
None. Does not require
Okay, so
charges.
it'll be based on spell slots. Okay.
Does it need
Are
to
there
be
any
attuned?
spells that are affecting this item? Oh yeah. Does it need to be attuned? Let's skip that one.
It does not.
No
Ooh, so that
attunement.
means it doesn't go against the limit of which items you hold that acquire attunement, right? So if you had 3 out of 3
Right.
attunements, you could hold this as a 4th item.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting.
Are there any spells that are currently affecting this item?
Technically, every spell in existence, and yet none of them at the same time. You know, based on your Arcana check from before.
I think usually when it's phrased like this, it's more like, if I
Primal.
hold it, will it be stuck to my hand? And like, haha, now all arrows will be pointed towards you because it's cursed.
I mean, so based on like all the information you derived, I mean, it has potential. Like it has the magic of a curse that could be in it, but it also has the magic of every spell in existence based on its nature. Think of it if you were to add another school of magic, think of it as just primal magic, just pure, unadulterated.
Yeah. Like in some settings, that's what they would just call Arcana, would be synonymous with like the weave, just magic in its innate state, right?
Correct.
Okay. Was this created by a spell?
Ooh, that's a good question. This, no.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't have. Nope.
Did you know if I identify a creature, I can touch Cha and learn all the spells that are currently affecting Cha? So, like, if he was cursed or something, I would be able to be like, "Oh, this is
Ooh.
what's wrong with you, buddy." I didn't know that part on identify. It doesn't cure it; it just gives you information. Like,
Do you tell
oh,
us that? Would you tell us
And
that?
no,
and
that's just part of the identify spell. I mean,
and also, I would like to point out, normally this spell would cost, a pearl worth of 100 gold and whatnot.
oh,
However,
that's true.
where you are, like, you probably didn't even think about it. You were so in the moment. You were just like, I'm gonna identify this. This is cool. This is interesting. And you're just in the moment and kind of forgot that. Wait a minute. Shouldn't I have had to use a?
That's true. Even as
Component?
a ritual, it would cost me at least
Does it
100 gold
consume the
or the
pearl?
pearl.
N-
Yeah,
It
so
does
it costs you 100
consume it.
gold every time you cast the spell,
Oh,
right?
No, because
okay.
it would because
No?
you. So
I thought,
for
yeah, I thought it
those
was
things,
just like the
it's
object you needed.
So for those, it'll specifically state if it gets consumed. So for
Right.
identify, as long as you have the pearl and an owl feather. But there's
Yes.
some spells that'll say to do this, you have to have this, this, and this, and it will be consumed at the spell's
Right.
completion.
Into the spell. Yeah, I remember that about
It's
identify. You just need a pearl.
yeah, there's very
And
few
you
spells
have
that
one.
consume it, but there's some out there.
I've been doing it wrong. Every time it says that, I'm like, all right, take 100 gold out of your pack. And
You've
we'll
been
save it
taking
to you
100 out?
retroactively. Every cast. I'm like, yep.
Oh no.
That's
No.
gonna cost you about 100 gold to cast that spell, buddy. We'll say you retroactively had bought a pearl when you went to town. Now it's gone. Deduct it. I don't think I've had to do that. I think I just thought about it, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just one of those things that if you don't come across one of the other examples of it specifically
I
stating,
don't think I own any money. No, I don't.
nope. But that's also, I think you guys, oh yeah, you threw the last bit of your money at the barkeep from the tavern brawl.
Yeah. I threw all my money at him because I felt bad for the damages. I relay all the information that I learned from Identify.
Wow, incredible. Chaw's gonna share it. He's just gonna he's gonna run up to everybody and just start explaining everything that he learned about the rod that Rain learned.
I think Niavara should have it, don't you think?
And he's just
Because
like,
she loves
"Good
treasure
job,
so
Rain."
much.
I mean, sure. Whoever would that's pretty powerful if we're around the person who uses it. Wait, does that mean that
This-
none of us can use magic if it's activated and we're within the radius?
I don't know what it means necessarily. I think it
So,
sounds like a shield, right?
but
I
is
know.
magic is impossible to use in the radius?
Would I know that?
Yeah, it didn't say anything about it being an anti-magic zone. Arcane anomalies.
Yeah,
What
it's
is
that's what I thought.
exactly
It's
is an
shield
arcade
specifically
anomaly?
against
What
maybe that's
does
what that was in
anomaly
the
mean?
center of the room.
Shield.
An anomaly means something like uncontrollable and unexpected.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Then
If I know anything about the Feywild and the mysterious dungeons within, something terrible is going to happen, and it's going to kill all of us unless we have this rod and we protect ourselves against the anomaly.
okay, that's
And then
very
whatever was trying
specific.
to wipe us out is going to go, "What? How'd you do that?" And then Niavara is going to hold that rod in the air and then stick out her tongue and go, "Nah," and then it's going to make them real angry. Might even assassinate them after. Say something witty.
I bet she will.
Oh, it was great.
Both.
But they did open
Well,
this door.
What do you say, Niavara? You want the rod? She's speechless with
Let's
the
underhand toss the Rod of
generosity.
Ages to Zed. was also very quiet.
It
They've
clings
been
to the
struck
floor and
speechless.
rolls under a couch. Congratulations, gone forever.
Oh, we lost it. Boom.
Like you said, you were giving it to Niavara.
Yeah, but she was not responding, so I'm tossing it to you to give to her.
Okay.
Well, I know she said the keeper likes to keep things, and I thought she could keep this.
You sure you don't want it to just roll under a couch and be gone forever?
Tempting.
Good thing the DM didn't get that inspiration.
Yeah, right? Jeez. Mischievous today.
But yeah. So anywho, to describe the room now that everybody's kind of there, I had to get my room reference number. There we go. So in this room, there are several desks. It looks very sciencey. You see like all sorts of little alchemy flasks and like little burners and like like desks with like liquids that are just constantly bubbling and boiling. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. Several bubbling burners and bubbling several burning burners and bubbling fluids adorn the tables, while bookshelved and now empty bookshelves are they sit in front they sit behind these piles of just decay, dust, pages that have since rotted, books that have just over time have felt the effects of time themselves. And a lot of the tables you kind of realize have grown very rusty, barely functional. If anything, like it seems like if you touch them, they would just collapse to the ground. Like the only thing probably keeping these desks aloft is the fact that they've just been steady for so long. Very rickety. But for the most part, the room is relatively empty. Yeah, it's totally unassuming though. I mean, aside from all this science stuff.
Oh, you guys, I'm really getting the feeling that this is like someone who's related to Tio Moonblade or something, you know? This almost feels like one of her laboratories or something. You know, the same
Bunsen
tentacle
burners.
creature pops out. She had the laboratory, remember? She was like creating weird apparitions. Maybe this is one of her laboratories.
You say she would be or B? Oh, is Niavara back? Because she rolled a nat 20 on that perception.
Oh.
I mean, I'm guessing she was perceiving the room.
Yavara, come out and play.
Maybe she had to poop.
More of a situation where I've had several long nights in a row, and I'll admit to being a little bit distractible.
That's all right.
He's zonking out.
But with that in mind,
So they were giving you an object.
and so she's investigating it, or sort of like trying to look it over, giving it her best shot.
Oh no, it's all been looked over. Got a rod that basically can protect yourself and everyone within 15 feet from magical anomalies. It does not require attunement. However, you would use oh wait, you don't have spell slots though, huh?
Oh, I
There's
do.
some.
Oh, you do? Okay. So it
Niavara's
requires
a
a spell
cleric.
slot. Oh, right. So it requires a spell slot to activate, and the strength of the spell slot determines its its level of power, the spell,
Duration.
or the duration?
To being a little bit confused at them initially approaching her with this, like, certainly anyone could use these.
Well,
I'll
Rain
take
was
them in the
very
meanwhile.
specific about you having it.
Aren't you very sweet, Rain? And she'll take them from him and sort of pocket them.
And oh, go on.
No, it's okay.
I was gonna say you had a nat 20 perception.
Yes. She was waiting
There's-
on Marge bringing stuff over.
I am gonna DM you something. Because a 29 is really fucking good.
So does it seem like the smokes are in this area?
I mean, I don't see any smoke anywhere, if you catch my vibe. I don't see any traps yet, though, from what I can tell.
So we've got bookshelves, but they're empty, you said?
Yeah, like the books have decayed and just kind of fallen off the shelves.
Oh. So this is kind of like that other room, full of dust and dirty, as opposed to that arcane room that was nice and cleaned up.
Oh, that's a good point.
There's a door up here.
Definitely seems to be some sort of like side chamber meant for holding stuff. Although the books are long since rendered useless by time.
Gosh, who was here? Whose place was this?
Nevar will start trying to make short work at the door, though she has full faith that she's going to, Yeah, that's about what I was expecting. Oh! But she tries the door anyway.
The reason you didn't lockpick it because it was already unlocked.
In which case, she's just gonna keep stepping forward.
All right. So
Good job, Niavara.
Did you check that DM? That message?
Not yet. I saw the DM from Rain. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. In which case, with light to that, discovery. Where in the room was that?
That would be because there was yeah. There's one here. Not letting me ping.
A draw,
There we go.
maybe?
There was one over here. And that third one in that little pot thingy.
See, okay. Spoiled for choice, Niavara will go to the first option to examine it. And she'll actually call over Zedrin. Zed. Worried father of one.
Wait, what?
Zedrin, come here. What do you notice? And she's gonna point out to him. What was pointed out to her.
Yep. I get. All right, like, yeah, okay. I will convey this. And you point out all of them, or just the first one?
I would point out the the 2 first ones, and then she would go over to investigate the milky white one.
Okie dokie. There you go, Zid.
Hmm.
Enjoy that, DN. I know you will.
Oh fuck.
Everybody's reacting to something.
Oh no.
I know. And then Nevar will actually pick up the 3rd thing if she can.
Oh yeah, it's not very heavy or anything like that.
And she'll actually do a quick little, I suppose, investigation. Ah.
I mean,
Rain, do you like shiny objects?
I got like a mouthful of like roasted crickets. I'm like, man, I love shiny objects.
And Marge, Cha, I found like a crystal over here, and I'm having some trouble identifying it.
Crystal?
I don't know much about crystals.
Let's take a look.
You
I'm a
see,
druid,
Let's see.
ma'am.
Am not a druid. No, sorry.
A ranger, right?
Child will take a look at the thing.
I will say, if anyone picks up on it, Zed's almost just like a bit frozen here for a second. And can you describe the, if you need to do it in DM's cubed, but this first thing here, would it be something that I could, as far as the whole thing, would it be something that I could pick up and like store?
Oh yeah, it's not that
I'm
big.
keeping it vague. Okay. So I'm definitely going to pick that up, and pocket it. And if I was pointed in the direction of the second
And over
object as
here.
well, then I would hastily move over here and grab that as well.
Pretty much
Nevar's
easy.
keeping
All right.
one eye on him because she's the one that pointed out to him. She's sort of being discreet about the issue, but she understands
I
the
think,
gravity of the situation.
I think at this point, Zed's gonna be, as he gets this second object, he's gonna look over at Niavara, and he's gonna have a face of just complete seriousness because of obviously what these items are. But he's gonna nod and just kind of having an appreciative look, almost a, not a wink, but just kind of like a notion of like thank you.
She'll nod back to him, sort of like it's not her business, but she understands that he's probably worried. And if there's nothing new about the cool white one, slash if Chaw's had no luck with it, she might bring it over to Rain entirely.
Yeah, Chad.
Yeah, Char got an 8.
Yeah.
She'll hold it up to Rain like, look, see.
Hmm.
White. It's a white crystal, milky white.
Oh, that's really neat. That's a good find. Oh, you want me to
Maybe-
tell you what it is?
Yes. I'm
I
not
thought you're
very
just
magically
proud.
inclined. I've
Oh,
said this like 3 times.
Well, I just think you should have more belief in yourself.
Lots of belief in myself. For one, I'm very good at noticing traps. For two, I'm very good at imitating people. For three, I understand that I know my limitations. I tried to figure it out. I couldn't. So I'm asking for help.
Oh, yeah, no shame in that.
Growth.
What am I rolling for this before I I don't want to do another 10-minute
Hey, what
ritual
up, Lucas?
just yet. But I will if I can't eyeball it and figure it out. What is it? Investigation? Or what are they using?
So, yeah, an investigation would be a good start because, I mean, you don't even know what it is. You're just kind of holding up this, like, milky white crystal to you. You're just like, I don't know what it is.
Wrong.
That's a 28.
Boom.
Oh, perfect. Was there any thought? It's all good, Lucas. So, okay. So this particular thing with your investigation of a natural 20, you get a feeling that this was a part of something much larger. I'm trying to think what I would give you with the investigation. Based on its shape, based on its composition, you get a feeling. Actually, you know in your bones on the nat 20, you know that this came off of something draconic. However, you would also know that the scale, based on its coloration, based on its composition, wasn't originally this color. What color it is, even a nat 20 wouldn't really tell you because you don't know what it was before. But yeah, you're able to ascertain this was a part of something much larger, very much living, at least, up until however this got detached from said entity.
It's a crystal, not a scale?
Yep.
You know how Mr. Zed there had the little amethyst looking drake, right? Imagine one of those, but 1,000 times bigger, and it made of a different type of crystal. And I think this is a part of that.
1,000 times bigger. How is that true?
That might be an exaggeration, but it's definitely bigger than all of y'all put together.
So
Another
Nevar will
crystal dragon?
sort of call back over Zed, like sort of whistling.
I think actually it wasn't this color when it fell off. I don't know what kind of.
Sort of whistle over to him.
Fell off or was taken off? This place
Maybe
is a
taken.
laboratory.
It's a great question.
You know what? With that nat 20 taken,
it was definitely broken off. Somebody took this. It wasn't like a natural shedding.
Zed.
Really
Somebody's just really into crystal dragons, I guess.
Yeah, so that's kind of
super
worrisome.
feeling like Tion Moonblade, man. I just keep getting her vibes here.
Yeah, Uncle Moonblade. You can't go anywhere with him, right?
Tio is actually a giant snake woman.
He's not Spanish.
Oh,
right.
Sorry.
Anyway, how do you? And that's separate questions there. I was going to ask how you know Spanish, but it's not even pertinent to the situation right now.
So I suppose the thing to say is that this is another scale, and she'll hold it up for him. It was not originally this color, but it looks to be much larger than the pieces that you were finding.
Oh shit!
What could this mean? Is somebody? I
Zed's
don't
gonna
know if
kinda-
I've ever heard of a crystal dragon before our journeys together. Are they a common thing?
Zed's gonna run his hand through his hair, and he'll kind of look up at everyone. He's like, "Hey, what?" So little one doesn't know who his parents are,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
Right.
wondering if that crystal right there might be tied to his mom
How's
or
it going?
something, and
Oh,
then
it's going great.
It reminds me of that
Fantastic.
that incredibly large sort of skeleton that was under the ice.
Wow,
How you doing?
right? Think that was a
Now-
crystal dragon?
I don't know the anatomy of crystal dragons and all that. I don't know if they're made of crystal
Checking my
outside
map
and they
here.
got bones inside or whatnot. But as far as the scale of things, And what Rain's saying here,
2. Okay.
that's the only thing that I could
So they're heading this
imagine.
way.
Some sort of connection, possibly.
Okay.
Dungeon Master, do we know are crystal dragons like a thing, or is this like a totally new discovery for us?
Give me a history check.
Sure.
I mean, most things are probably new to Cha at this point.
Well, yeah, he's done some studying. I'm just wondering, like, I would think he would know about dragons, but I don't know if he knows about crystal dragons.
Yes,
Got an 18.
there's an entire species of draconic entities known as gem dragons. And they definitely vary.
Okay, so
They're
Cha.
Jim Dragonborn too.
Okay, so Cha's like just pointing that out if anybody didn't know, or maybe everybody knew and he's saying it like it's new knowledge. So
Nevar
what I
would.
definitely understood about the dragon that was encased in the ice was that it was a mist dragon. So I think different, but we didn't see it with its scales on. Maybe it was a mist gem dragon. I don't know.
I have
So
0 clues about draconic entities. I am so far removed from that I have no idea where even to start. Zedrin, if you're starting a collection of these pieces, you're welcome to have this broken scale.
he's gonna reach out, just like no questions asked. Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll hold on to it.
Maybe at some point you can use these things like as components for a spell, maybe to track it. I don't know.
Ooh,
The
good
books were
idea.
destroyed.
You see, kind of
It's
like, as far as this whole occasion, you see the first sort of like glint of a smile or a bit of a grin as he just kind of takes that information. He's like, "Oh, hey, that's a great idea. Thank you."
If we could track it, and maybe we could strike first.
like
The
would
bastard
be a
that
sort
took
of
it,
a good idea.
right?
I
I don't know how wizardry works, to be very clear.
Right
I think
now, it
Zed
seems like this thing has complete control over whenever it wants to have Zed in its world.
We know somebody who
Zed
was strong with divination magic, so we could track it, right? We could scry.
Oh, that would be great.
I could actually
well, I don't
try
want to
something
detract
like
from
our.
our current objective here. I apologize, Marge, but it's
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of personal things going on in this place for
there's a lot
us.
going on here that I think has more to us. Um, I don't know. It's just a bit ironic that we got this whole job to begin with, and that we've been almost brought to this place where it seems like we're supposed to be.
What's ironic mean?
Something that
Ironic means
happened.
that
Use it
it's
in a
kind
sentence.
of
I
it,
did just use it in a fucking sentence. What do you mean?
Okay, no need to get mad about it. What? Let's just
No,
ask
I'm
him.
sorry. I don't know. I'm a bit heated because I just got these. Anyway, sorry. I'm emotional right now.
irony
Okay.
means that it's something sarcastic and coincidental, but almost like in a negative, dark, twisted sort of way.
A great sense of irony would be breaking your lock-picking tools attempting to get a door open, only to find that it was never locked in the first place.
Oh,
Exactly.
I get it.
That's a
Good
perfect
one.
example.
Ask
Very
me how I know.
and a very personal one, huh?
How do you know?
Nevar just walks away.
Quite specific.
Right. Anyway, Mars, I do apologize. We're gonna find your smokes. I promise.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Wait, did you lose your cigarettes?
Rain.
Oh,
I was asleep in a
Oh shit.
backpack
Have
for
we
a
not?
long time. I'm sorry.
You don't even know why we're here, do you?
No,
Oh
I
my
just thought we were great friends exploring the vast unknown together.
Ooh,
Well, we're
that's a
doing that
conversation.
too. We are doing that as well. But specifically, we're looking for
I'm gonna let Marge
refugees.
explain that one. No,
Oh,
we're not
sure,
looking for
sure,
that.
sure.
We're looking for smokes. What the fuck do
yeah.
you mean?
Oh, right, right.
Nivara will call back. Only smokes, Cha. Don't speak anything. For the walls have
Oh,
ears. The
can't-
walls have
Can't
eyes.
use the R
Oh,
word.
gotcha, gotcha.
Wait, what R word did he use so that I don't use it
Nothing.
in future?
Rolled
raisins.
smokes. That's the R word he
Retrofit.
used.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Retrofit.
I think this is gonna be one of those times when you'll know it when you see it type of thing. You know what I mean?
Not even a little bit, but I'm just here for the ride.
Great.
We're trying to save some smokes that Marge has been made aware of. That Marge is very keen on gathering smokes, you see, and
Duty free smokes.
yes, of course, smokes that might be evading some sort of
Refugee
taxation,
is the R word.
metaphorically,
Refugee.
and
Yes.
and Marge really, really likes collecting these smokes to keep, not only to keep them for herself, but to just keep them safe, and might actually eventually donate said smokes to I a
Better
new town.
causes.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
And you all can
Not
hear
following
the
at
Hopefully
all.
that cleared everything up.
Irony.
Yeah, Nivara, meanwhile, is up in the thing and just curses very
Speaking of
loudly.
irony, how you doing,
Keepers
Nivara?
fucking.
them lockpicks definitely broke.
Oh man, what?
Keepers fucking teeth.
Oh my god,
what-
you just
Zedrin.
gave that analogy and it
What happened?
happened?
I
Oh
broke
my
my
god.
lockpicking tool.
Oh, tell you what.
Zedrin.
Here, hold on.
Dude.
There you go.
Oh my
Thank
god, you had
you.
another set. Did you have another set?
No.
Nope, I just mended them.
Oh right. Oh, that's cool.
We'll never lose out on lockpicks again.
Dude, that
I
is amazing. I just got chills. You gave that analogy like 5 minutes ago, and then it happened
Just-
after how many
just the-
sessions?
the dice roll
Oh my god.
just in that one. All right, well,
That was cool.
here's hoping.
That was fucking
I'll
cool.
assist. If needed.
I already rolled it.
That
We'll
was
see.
irony. That
Yeah.
was it.
A real life example there. Well, it's still locked.
Well, actually, just before you open the door,
Okay.
because the lock picking part was kind of loud, right? There was the fiddling with the
Ooh.
lock, and it was just kind of like chink. And you, Zed, as you're kind of working on the door, you are very sure you can hear the sound of, like, imagine like clawed feet scrambling across stone, and you can hear the like clicking and the clacking of like several little feet. But this is before you open the door. It's unlocked now. Do with
Yeah,
that information as you would, and it's right on the other
As-
side of the door.
So not all locks are the same, obviously. Sometimes you pick them and unless you have a certain feel, you don't even know that you've opened the tumblers in the right way. This lock is loud as fuck. And it's one of those type of locks where I would say for us someone that's picking the lock, that noise is just the utmost gratification. And this lock being so loud is like exemplifying that. Is so you kind of see Zed's shoulders slump a little bit as soon as everyone audibly hears the lock open, and then you see his head tilt slightly, and instead of just immediately opening the door, he kind of backs away and he has his arms out to his sides, kind of trying to keep everyone back behind him. And he's going to turn and whisper in and say, there's definitely something behind that door, scratching along the surface, got talons or some sort of bits.
Uh-oh. Marge,
Hello?
could that be familiar to you at all?
I have talents. What are you talking about?
You know about the smokes.
I
All I'm
mean,
saying is
smoke's
there's
come in all shapes and sorts and sizes.
I mean,
all I'm saying is there's something along the other side of this door. I'm just preparing you all. If you don't want me to open it, let me know now. Otherwise, well,
also
you go
Crack it open.
based on your distance, you're also kind of yelling into the room. Just saying
based
now.
on what distance?
Well, I see Marge and Shaw in the last room, and you guys next to the door.
Right.
Well, I was whispering, so if I didn't hear them, then I was
Sorry.
still whispering intentionally.
I intended to follow everybody around.
All right, I'm gonna open it. Unless anyone
Go
has an
for
objection.
it. Do it.
All right, I see floor and a wall.
Okay, so get inside.
I'm gonna step forward. I've stepped forward.
You're narrating. We can just see you do the thing. You don't have to narrate.
Because they're in
Sorry.
here. There's two of those in
You're in a
there.
hole.
Actually, the narrating does help, and I've been taking notes on how to lockpick
there's
and about the
one
noise
in there.
levels and like how do you creep into a room, and like it's just very studious.
We're in a hallway now. I'm gonna stop.
Keep
I
narrating.
apologize.
No, keep narrating. The rain loves it.
Oh,
All right.
I
You
heard.
said there were
I
some
seemingly,
beasties here.
I
Let's
seemingly
try
heard something on the other side of this door. We got a door to our right. We got a door right there.
Jesus.
Oh.
Wow, there's so
Do
many
I
doors.
still hear the like chittering, scratching noises? Or do we all hear them now?
Try the door over at the end of the hallway. We're looking for something.
Which
'Cause they're in
direction
here.
would that be coming from?
So, because these are just in here. You know, these are in here. Here. Okay, with the 9, because they're in all these everywhere. The door to your left, the door to your right, the door right in front of you that's totally unlocked.
Should we open them all at the same time?
That's exactly what I'm suggesting, everyone.
And also Marge, since, you know, let's see, how would I explain this to Marge? Marge, give me a perception with advantage because I know your class stuff. Yep, Swarm Keeper. Oh yes, you definitely.
Nice.
So, based on your experiences as, you know, your particular subclass, they're talking about there's like chittering or like skittering along the floor, and just kind of based on your experience, you are very familiar with that type of entity or entities. If you want, you can do a, let's see, how do you determine this? A nature check.
I can give it a try, I guess. While I do have very good here.
Well, it's with advantage because this is all a part of stuff that you would know for your class.
I'll try it one more time, I guess.
Hey.
Boom.
Yeah.
You know what? For the sake of I figure Marge would tell everybody what is gonna get told. You know that sound, what's being explained, the scratching, the skittering, how it sounds like there's a lot of them. There are swarms in these halls.
There's dang on swarms up in here.
And based on your nat 20, and based on your nat 20, there's, let's see, how would I determine how would I? You'd probably ascertain that there's a lot of swarms in the room to your east. I mean, if you step into the hallway. So if you're like there. There's a lot
The
of
one
them.
by Zed.
Yeah, next to Zed. There's probably a couple of them next to the door where Chaw's at. And you get a feeling that there's a swarm much more potent than Du Bois where Niavara's at. Much stronger.
Y'all, you heard noises coming from every direction, and your decision is to open all of the doors at once? Have you all ever
Well-
been adventuring ever?
For the record, I disagreed with that particular course of action.
Secondly, like this,
They heard that.
you know, the skittering that you're hearing is not good. And
What is it?
big skittering coming from Niavara's side, and little skittering coming from Cha's side, and even more skittering coming from over Zed. So if you're wanting to, you know, duke it out with whatever's skittering behind those doors, I recommend we doing it one at a time.
What is it?
Something
What are we
skittering.
dealing with?
Oh, so with that nat 20, swarms of rats.
Oh, rats! This sounds like rats. You don't hear them. You don't smell them. Look at the ground. There's poop everywhere.
Big nope.
Oh,
Go ahead and leave that door.
yeah, Niavara, maybe you could get back here.
Niavara is sort of smiling, like, I don't see any problems with this.
Oh, you just want to go in and tear ass on them? You ready?
Niavar wants to just nuke every room.
Maybe this time you'll understand why I hate rats so much.
Okay.
Secondly,
Just try to
figure
talk
out
to
why.
them before you kill them.
in my defense, Marge, I will say my specific skill set is for infiltrating areas where I'm supposed to be unnoticed, and so going towards area of noise is my whole point. I want to be in the background.
Yeah, well,
Where it's
there's
really
lots of
busy.
them, and when there's lots of rats, you know, there's also a good choice of being a big ass rat.
Oh yeah, and they like to eat people. I understand. I've seen the ones in the
Okay.
Underdark.
So if there are a bunch of rats in there that like to eat people,
But we don't know that.
maybe there wouldn't be, the smokes because they
Or
would
maybe
already
they're the
be.
smokes. We'll find out, I guess. Open the door, Chaw.
Okay, which one? You want to do the smaller room
Yes.
first or the big one?
The smaller
Okay,
one.
here we go.
Woo!
Ah!
And initiative. As soon as you open these doors, this particular door, 2 swarms of rats start to just pile out. But give me a sec to get the combat started before you do the initiative. Encounter. Begin. All right, roll initiatives.
I'm so upset. I'm slightly less upset. Rain!
Oh,
I've been having
stepped
some
away for a
great
second
rolls
and I-
tonight.
Yeah,
I came back and heard
booyah.
roll initiative.
Roll
That's
for
right.
initiative, suckers.
Let's go.
So, and then pretty much when you open this door, like this, and here's what's strange about them. The rats immediately behind the door are fleshy. They're very much still living and alive. They look relatively unhealthy, but the swarm of rats behind them are skeletal, almost like, and you can kind of see as these 2 swarms intermingle, some of the rats are just eating each other. Like, as you open the door, they were like in the midst of like eating each other, and you saw like a couple of maybe just a couple of rats that were just all the flesh was ripped from their bone, grow and animate as if as soon as they were eaten, they just come back to life with an
All right, close the
insatiable
door.
hunger.
Close the door.
No, there's another
Close
door
the door
behind them. We
quickly.
have to kill them. We have to kill them. We have to kill them. Kill.
However,
Go for it.
it is 10:30, and I think that's a perfect spot to wrap up the session here.
Good one.
Niavara baying for blood. And Zedrin realizing, wait a second.
It's just this big nope. Hey, it's gonna be fun for Kozik to drop in on.
Yeah, I gotta move
Oh,
him
yeah,
up a
I
room.
don't know what
Kozik!
you're talking about. We can sort of,
Gotta move him up a
I'm
room.
imagining our recap. We should fuck with him. Slightly.
That's a great idea. What should we say? What should we
Kozik
tell
was
him?
carried off by the
There's
Rat
1,
King.
2,
Kozik
Yes.
was
4
killed.
small,
No.
2
No,
large.
he was carried
Kozik
off
was
by the
killed.
rats.
Carried off by the
He
raccoon. We
just
have to
fucking went
rescue him.
0 to 60. Yeah, Kozik is dead now. Sorry, and you weren't here, so
Kozik's dead.
no death saving throws, bro. It's
And we split up
a
all your
rule.
loot.
Yeah, it's
we
like
told your
chapter
patron to go fuck
13.
himself, and we're never gonna talk to
A.
them again.
Even worse, we told people you weren't nobility.
We're smearing your reputation
Yeah.
wherever we go in the dungeon.
Koz is actually the exterminator. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We realized that Kozik was the big bad and murdered him in his sleep. Oh, that's fun.
Kozik comes back
I think
as
all
the
of
teddy
those
bear.
things. You know what we should do? We should totally start a
There's 2 in here,
story
4 in
and
here,
then
2 big ones
each
and
one
1
of us
small here.
keep
Yeah,
on
okay.
like adding
Just
to it
just
as
embellish
just
on it. Yeah.
improv it. Yeah, we'll just improv
We should make the whole episode about Kozik and have it just be like, oh, it was a random thing that happened at the very beginning, and then all of this stuff unfolded. It was lore. We kind of had to go with it. We wished you were there, but basically your character
Gotta give
now
him
has 3 horns, no
He was
legs.
he was transported into a
and-
romantic situation with his patron.
Right.
Whisked away into the bodice ripper novel. Kozik's life in an isekai.
Oh my god, this is happening, okay? We're doing this. We're gonna start a weird story for Kozik and then just keep it going and see when he's like, what?
I think he'll
You guys fucking
do
with
it
me.
right at the start because it is very unlikely that we would have done something with this character without him
Okay, let's
or
do
put his
something
character in
subtle.
danger.
Well, the
What can we
thing
do
the
that
thing
would
that
be
we were
subtle?
doing right at the start was checking the chest. What if we just say that we opened the chest and found Kozik inside?
Real
And that's
This
just
chest
the
actually
starting
had
point.
some really sick loot that we've all distributed amongst us, but because he wasn't there, he didn't get a share.
Oh, that's just sad.
Great
Um,
party dynamic.
I'm liking the idea that that
Great
he that's something tremendous happens. Oh, this is good. This is good. I'm gonna be dreaming about this all week long. I'm
Like,
sure.
start of the session, the Queen of Air and Darkness shows up and whisks Kozik away. We're putting like more thought into fucking with Kozik than we did.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were so smart.
Yeah, we did a lot of good stuff in this session.
No, it was good. Yeah.
Yep.
Some good
It's
stuff.
handy that somebody had detect magic, because all of that stuff you totally wouldn't have noticed.
Dude. Kudos to Rain. You totally figured out the freaking puzzle.
Hey, I may only have 20 hit points, but look, I've got like +8 to investigation. I got identify, detect magic. I got uses.
Mentally
strength is
picturing
6,
the fact
but
that Rain is probably the same HP as the rats.
yeah, and the same
no.
size.
Yeah, they're going to eat you. They're going to rip your flesh off your bones.
He can fly, they can't.
I was gonna say I can fly.
Yeah, there you go.
He can
I feel
fly.
like so.
They
Do you remember when we were fighting the
Wish I
teddy
had
bear
spider
thing,
climb.
and Rain had like primed this spell that was gonna fucking nuke this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure Zed just kind of poked it and killed it.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, I
I'm
remember.
really hopeful that we go into this next room and Rain just sets everything on fire.
No, look, I've been burnt once before. All right. From now on, I'm just gonna martial arts my way out of situations.
Yeah, Chaw's just looking forward to
He's gonna
punching
use his
rats.
flower staff.
Just wants to punch rats.
I will say, when you guys were trying to figure out that whole puzzle, I was just like, yeah, that's probably not good. And then And then Kuth was like, "What if it does this?" And I was just like audibly clapping. Like it'll probably it'll come through on
Nice.
the in the VOD, but I
I
was just
didn't
like
want to be too
clapping.
persistent though, right? I'm just like, this makes sense to me though. But
Yeah, it's good. We listened.
I think it was I
It
think it
was
was a great idea. I think the only pushback that everyone had was just the uncertainty of like, well, what's it
Destroying the
really gonna
item.
do?
Yeah.
I was
And
basing it on the magic that was around it, which was, like shielding magic, right? So I was like, this is
right.
clearly to remove a shield, right? Because I don't have dispel magic.
So halfway through that whole actual uh sequence when Cha and I were moving the chest and it was all getting drained, it clicked in my head and I was like, this could be the worst possible thing that we could be doing right now.
Oh
In the
yeah.
sense of so Reigns alluded that this is
Like
all
giving it.
shielding and protection and is
Yeah.
like adamant that like this is protection for whatever's in the chest. And we just came across this weird monster and I'm like, what if all this protection was there for a reason and we're now removing it? Like the
Yeah,
thing
what
that was
if?
Yeah.
after all of
Totally.
this. And so I was expecting something bad to happen. And then we
But
opened the
that
chest
was
and found some
that
loot. So I
was
was
the
like, yeah, we're
solution.
good.
Yeah, as long as you get the loot. It's not like you fed
100%.
any entities a whole lot of
Yeah, we
magic or
didn't
anything.
feed anything.
Yeah.
The entire time I was like, yeah, we're this is a big lunch.
I was into the plan once I realized it was already getting fed. So it was like it was already taking the energy. We were
No,
actually gonna
see,
Yeah, it
stop
was
its
I mean, it was
source.
right.
out of character, I was completely aware of the fact that was probably the super good solution because, yeah, it makes sense. Like you have the creature that eats the thing. However, I think Nevar is a very suspicious person and wants to try the non-magical of just break it first.
Yeah, I
Sure.
think as like thieves, Zed and Niavara wanted to figure out a way to actually just open it in a
Just
quote
force
unquote
it.
regular fashion. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a good idea, and it was a perfect sort of scenario.
Yeah, it showed off Rain's
Also,
skilled very much, and I forget ritual spells.
as we're kind of wrapping up, I'd also point something out for Cha. You can hear the sound of mittens meowing in your backpack.
Oh.
Mhm.
They want some rats.
Get it, Mittens?
Hey, save some rats for Mittens.
I'm
Especially
sure
the undead ones, because it's
Mittens
ironic.
can be on cleanup duty. I don't think that's irony. I think that's fitting.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys solved the puzzle and nobody exploded.
Boom.
Was that an option?
Yet.
Yet.
I think it was. I think it was totally an
I
option.
mean, there's still plenty of other rooms for you to go into. Don't worry.
We have 3 rounds of rats.
I think one of the bigger accomplishments is we went through an entire room without touching anything but another door.
Nope,
What? No, you
touched
touched all
stuff.
sorts of stuff.
Yep. Crystals.
Yeah, and here?
This
Oh yeah,
no,
you went through that whole room.
the second room with all the traps and
Oh, this
we
area?
literally just walked through that room,
Ah,
got
that
to the
one,
door,
yeah.
picked the lock. We actually went through a room in less than 5 real-time minutes.
I think that Kozak last
Hmm.
session was actually investigating these 2 guys. So I've not finished
Right.
that. Because there's another door right here.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in that room,
I'm willing to
but I
bet
was
you that
just surprised.
no, I'm very impressed with this too. I'm willing to bet that this connects to some door over here. Some
I can
room
see
over
that, yeah.
here.
Gonna loop around.
Unless what's gonna happen is
Yeah.
it's an L-shaped curve. And the room's up here. That'd be funny.
I like all the different flooring.
Yeah.
Intriguing architecture for all the flooring.
Yeah, it's a little program that it allows me to generate rooms much easier than having to hand place everything. Because the program I was using before, when I tried to not upload, import or export the maps I was making, the program kept freezing up and crashing. I was like, well, I guess that's not being supported anymore. And then way later I found out, oh, the guy just apparently the version I had I wasn't able to update because it was like a humble bundle thing. And I guess yeah, it was weird. So I was like, well, I'll just try this other program that I already have. And
Does it do your lighting for you?
this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a
Cool.
module that it's a module that I have in Foundry that allows me to utilize what's called a universal battle map, a UVTT or whatever. So when I import it to here, and also the program that I use specifically states you can use Foundry.
I use UVTT too.
Yeah. So like when I import it, it imports all the walls, it imports all the lighting, imports doors.
Nice. Okay, and it's like, do you have to like copy and paste a code to get it to do it?
Nope. All I have to do is go into like my Foundry thing and just go into my computer and grab it, and it imports everything over.
I buy maps off this girl Tessa, right? And I think she uses something like that because she has the UVTT, right?
All right, Toad.
And
Thanks for
what
being
I have
here.
to do is
We're
if I
wrapping up
use her
anyway.
map, then I copy her code and I have to go to like the
Thank you
GM
for
layer
watching.
and then right click it, and then I have to put in a special
post-game
code, and then I have to type
chatter.
in like exclamation point UVTT enter, and then it'll put in all the lighting she's done. Because if I don't do it that way, I have to like trace every single wall, every tree, like I have to do lines and stuff. And you have to do like I've learned that like if you just did like freehand tool and it's like you just draw across, then because you're not a computer and you're not perfectly straight, it's like, oh, let me, calculate 10,000 different angles of light, and then everybody's computers get really slow. And so it's like you have to be precise, and so this sounds just a lot easier.
Yeah, it imports like the program that I use. It's designed with Foundry in mind, so I randomly generate a room, and then I can place things manually. And then when I port it over, let's see, it does all the walls, doors, secret doors, lighting, and stuff like that. But when I imported this one over, I was like, oh, oops, there's some things here that shouldn't be here. Like there was a lot of apparently I didn't put doors in some of mine, so I had to like manually put doors in, but that's way easier than having to redo every single wall and every single door. So that was just, user error, like me not expecting that, but I know now. So it just makes life so much easier to import this stuff. Because there was a couple points I was like, wait, you guys shouldn't even be able to see that. No, oh, it put a window there. There's no windows in here, so I just had to go over and put walls where windows were.
Oh. Well, have a great week, everybody. Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome
Alright.
session, everyone.
That was fun.
Hopefully,
care.
Kozik's back next week.
Yeah, he'll be touching
Oh,
everything
man,
in
we're
no
gonna
time.
mess with him
apparently
so hard.
He just went out to go to a freaking concert.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
with
On a
fun.
friends.
Tuesday?
Jealous of that.
He's gonna pay. We're gonna screw with him so hard. Just make sure you don't crack anybody. Gotta keep a straight face.
Oh, absolutely.
The Queen of Air and Darkness whisk your character away off to a fucking concert.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all of you. All right, there it is. So I hope you guys have a good morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you. And we'll be back at it again tomorrow, where we party like it's 2023. For those of you on the YouTubes, we do this every Tuesday from 7:30 to 10:30. Pacific. So if you're here for the D&D, by all means, don't be a stranger. So with that, we wrap it up. And thank you for being here for The Fallen, the 40th episode. Until next time, catch you again soon.